Kings.
Yeah. Let's do it. Three Kings boxing in the house. Where my man Bo at? Where my man Bo at? Your camera off, Big Bo. Your camera off, dog. There he is. There he is.
In the house. The style, my future so bright, I gotta wear shades.
He said, man, ain't that what is that, a 1970s, 80s joint? My future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. That's that white boy music. Hey, some of that shit be hot, though. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You look what's in the news. Hey, baby, come on now.
Some of that shit be hot, dog. Real talk. You can't be clowning it too much, man. Some of them white boy cuts in the 80s, like
Yeah,
real talk. Hey, I'm a nigga, man. I can tell you how I feel, bruh, cause I don't have no insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Madonna was hot in the 80s, bro.
Man.
Madonna was dropping that hot shit, nigga.
Yeah, but she was out there lying. Some of them like a virgin. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean besides that one, but yeah, there's other shit, bro. Like the way shit was dumping, nigga. She was hot. You know what I'm saying? She was hot. She was crazy, but she was hot. She's still crazy. You know what I'm saying? What's good? We in the building. Three Kings boxing in the house. Bo didn't wear his hat for the first time ever.
Yeah, I did.
It's all good. It's all good. How you doing today, man?
Well, I'm going to let you tell the people because I know you're going to clown me.
Oh, yeah. That'll be, I guess, my little discussion before we jump this shit off. This motherfucker Bo. This goofy ass old nigga fell asleep in his chair and woke up on his back. Yo. All he knows is that he has some back pain. That's all he know. He's still trying to decipher if he fell on his coffee table or not. This shit is still a mystery to him, dog.
It's still a mystery, man.
That's how you know you old than a motherfucker that don't get no sleep. That's what that means, bro. Yo. Hey, you gotta be careful, Bo. You fuck around and fall asleep in public, you gonna be waking up wondering why your ass hurt, nigga.
I think my senses kick in on that one, goddamn.
Yeah.
My senses. What the fuck is you doing there?
Oh shit.
Hey,
Let's kick this hoe off, man.
Let's do it.
As you already know my disclaimer, if y'all got a problem with what I say, understand it's just entertainment, man. We here to entertain the people that's listening. We here to entertain everybody, man, even ourselves. I laugh at my own shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a problem, as always, you can always come see me, man. I'm everywhere. You feel me? Let's jump in this shit.
Did you see that?
What'd you do? You spilled water on your ass?
No, I went to drink the water and then realized something.
See, look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man. Look, bro, as soon as we get off of here, I'm about to register you for your AARP card, Social Security. I'm going to change your phone to a jitterbug, nigga, and I'm going to get you a life alert. That's where we going when we get off this podcast, bro. Get you nice and set up, bro.
Man.
All right, man. Let's jump right into this, man. And I just say, simple question. Is Canelo Alvarez on that bullshit? Listen, man. We put the information out there, you know. A lot of motherfuckers is talking about it, but they didn't get the quote. So we went and got the quote.
Mm-hmm.
He basically said, everybody knows he postponed his September return, right?
Right.
But we put in our article the actual quote. He said, I postponed it because I wanted to get the best fight from my fans. Bo, I'll let you have it, man. Is he bullshitting us? Or is this legit?
Okay. He's bullshitting us. He's bullshitting us about the reason why. Best fight for the fans? What the fuck are you talking about, motherfucker? You had 154 to 175 on lock. Everybody waiting to see what the fuck you was gonna do. So what do you mean best fight for your fans? You telling me from 154 to 175, nobody was good?
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Okay.
Nobody was worthy, bro.
Nobody from what? Listen, man, I said something earlier, and I'm gonna say it here. First of all, I do believe what it really boiled down to is Canelo Alvarez was injured, and injured so much so that anybody he was gonna fight. Because see, here's the thing: everybody got to understand. Canelo Alvarez signed an 11-fight contract for $300-something million. Think about this for a second.
$365 million to be exact.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be accurate, because you know we got motherfuckers. See, they don't know what they're talking about. He said mandatory. Mandatory.
Today was a good day. Oh hell.
So $365 million.
Right.
Now, here's the problem that you have. Floyd Mayweather signed a similar contract, 6 fights. But for the 6 fights, he was able to get away with fighting Guerrero, 2 fights with Maidana, and then a fight with what's the boy's name? Canelo Alvarez. Okay. Then Pacquiao. Then Berto.
Wait a minute. You talking about Floyd's Showtime deal?
Yeah.
Canelo wasn't a part of that.
Yeah, he was.
Nah, I thought he signed it whenever he fought Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero was the first fight of that deal.
Right, that's what I said. He fought Robert Guerrero. It was a 6-fight contract. Robert Guerrero, 2 fights with Maidana, then Canelo.
I thought Canelo was before that. Canelo was before that, bro. He fought Canelo in 2013, man.
Okay, yeah. It was either. I'm saying he was in that mix though. He was part of that.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
Oh, I think he was.
All right, whatever. Go ahead. I don't remember, but go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead.
I mean, you might be right, but my point is, out of the 6 fights, the one main fight everybody wanted to see him fight was the Manny Pacquiao fight, right? That was where he had to fight one true legit killer, Manny Pacquiao. When you sign an 11-fight contract, dog, 11 fights, you're gonna have to fight more than some. You're gonna be forced to fight more than some 1 or 2, or you maybe have to fight 3 fucking killers. You're talking 11 goddamn fights.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fights. Like, you ain't gonna find 11 bum ass motherfuckers that motherfuckers gonna sit back and say, okay, yeah, man, we good with giving you $365 million. Then the division you're in the 160-pound division. You got guys from 154 that's coming up. Then you grab the belt at 168. 168 is motherfucking hot. And as we seeing right now, 175 is jumping off. Yep. Canelo's boxed the fuck in. Yep. So he got hurt, and he's looking at all the opponents. Anybody you fight while you're hurt, you're at a huge disadvantage if you're talking about fighting some. I don't care who you are. Yep. I don't care how you think you are. If you hurt, and you talking about fighting some fucking Kovalev or Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders or Bubu Andrade, hell, even a Gennady Golovkin. If you're hurt, you talking about fighting them motherfuckers, you're gonna get your ass whooped on.
Word up.
You know? So I think he's hurt to the point where they're saying, listen, man, we're not gonna be able to find nobody good enough to fight that we can guarantee Canelo is gonna come. I mean, he's gonna be at a disadvantage here. So of course he's bullshitting us. Definitely he's bullshitting us, because you can't sit there and tell me you can't find nobody. 154 all the way to 175, you can't fight. The problem is, I believe the zone is like, listen, man, we gave you Rocky Fielding. We gave you Daniel fucking Jacobs.
Yeah.
We need some production.
Yeah. Word up.
We need some production. And I think that's what it's coming down to. Now, me personally, I'm okay with him not fighting September. I just wish they would have just said, listen, Canelo's hurt, so we're going to forego the September fight. Okay? Because he's injured. And, we'll look to do something either late on down the line by the end of the year, or we'll look to do something in fucking May. That's better than me to be like, I'm trying to make the best fight for my family. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. 175 and nobody, you trying to tell me ain't no motherfucker got a post? Dude, I'm looking at shit. Jesse Hart just won. You fight that motherfucker. Hell, Gilberto Ramirez, fight that motherfucker. Nobody? No, man, just tell me that you hurt, dog, and at this point you don't want to risk further messing yourself up by trying to fight while you injured. That's more acceptable than try to tell me you trying to find the best fight, man. That's some bullshit, man.
Well, let me go ahead and give you your credit. You're absolutely right. The 6 fights were Guerrero, Canelo, Marcos Maidana twice, Pacquiao, and Berto. You're absolutely 100% correct. That's my bet. Number 2, I agree exactly with what you're saying in terms of I believe that Canelo is actually hurt, but they don't want to say it. But some shit that I got, little info that I had received right before this podcast started, was that apparently they can't find enough money to pay somebody based on the amount of money that they've given Canelo. Ooh. And that's the problem they're having finding their next opponent.
That makes sense. That explains Kovalev.
And that's why DAZN was saying we're only going to approve Gennady Golovkin or Sergey Kovalev, because they're the only 2 opponents that can actually provide the kind of revenue or generate the kind of revenue, right, that allows them to be able to pay these motherfuckers what they got to pay them. Now, DAZN is another thing I heard. DAZN is not responsible for that. Golden Boy is. They're responsible for paying Canelo's opponents. That's another problem. You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it kind of makes sense. If that's true, that makes sense that Canelo is having trouble. On top of that, I'm hearing that Canelo and Oscar's relationship is strained right now. I've heard that Canelo and Oscar haven't been speaking to each other for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? In front of the cameras, yes. For the media, yes. In their personal lives, no. That's what I've heard. So there's some shit going on between Thelma and Louise. You know what I'm saying? Thelma and Louise is mad at each other right now, bro.
Oh shit, that's what's up. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, let me get to the chat, man. Dump Truck Trapping, what's good, fam? Chris M, what's good? Just Juan, what's good? My man Kurt Warden, what's good? And then my man Weed Degree, he said, Prodigy, Bo, off work tomorrow. It's my motherfucking birthday. Hope you both well. Happy motherfucking birthday, Weed Degree!
Birthday, young nigga.
Yeah, he
look like have some crumpets and tea.
He texts like he an 18-year-old nigga. I don't know how you text like you're 18, but I'm just saying that. That's what's up. But no, that's what I'm hearing though, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think things are a lot deeper than what we're led on. But at the same time, we're not sure, bro. This is information that's speculated. It's not any information that's been confirmed. Right. You know what I'm saying? Damn, he my age. We degree same age as me, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I don't like 20-year-old niggas in here.
Oh, okay, then you 34. All right, bro.
Yeah, he's the same age as me, man. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. But at the end of the day, if that's the case, then it makes sense why they wouldn't fight a Demetrius Andrade. Actually, it makes sense why they're trying to act like Demetrius Andrade don't fucking exist, right? Jamal Charlo, right? Now, when you look at the landscape at which the guys that have called Canelo out, you got 154 to 175. I'll start. Julian J. Rock Williams. That fight wasn't going to happen. But, you know, he called him out. At 160, Demetrius Andrade. Jamal Charlo, right? Sergey Derevyanchenko wants to fight him, right? Gennady Golovkin. Damn, that's 4 at 160. Let's move to 168.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Billy Joe Saunders. Callum Smith. Let's go to 175. Sergey Kovalev. And last but not least, the best fighter at 175, in my opinion, Dimitri Bivol. How many people is that?
That's 9, but you forgot Ramirez.
Gilberto Ramirez. Gilberto Ramirez called him out like months ago before he fought Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah, back when he was still holding the belt.
Yeah. He said he'd go back down to 168 to fight Golovkin and Canelo.
He did.
Yeah. That's 10 fucking people, dog. And you're trying to tell me that you can only fight 2 out of those 10? There's got to be something behind the scenes, bro. And you don't really need to know. You don't really need to go out and search for information on what's happening. Just look at what's going on. $365 million contract, right? Gennady Golovkin got paid like $15 million for Steve Rolls. You know what I'm saying? You got Anthony Joshua.
Got a contract, didn't he?
Huh?
Gennady got a fat contract
like
from them too.
100 or 200 million. I can't remember what he got. But you got Anthony Joshua getting paid over there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money that's circulating. So they're like, we need to make big fights and we need to make these motherfucking big fights right now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to, We Degree said 125. So they're like, we ain't trying to see no Demetrius Andrade. We ain't trying to see no motherfucking Jamal Charlo. We need to make these big fights right now. Why? Because we allowed you to fight 2 motherfuckers that didn't bring nobody in already. Rocky Fielding. And regardless of what you guys feel about Daniel Jacobs, he's not that popular of a fighter. All right? He's damn for sure not going to bring in the kind of revenue that will make them feel good about giving Canelo $365 million. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He's not that kind of opponent. The opponent that will make them feel good about that is Gennady Golovkin. That's why they signed Golovkin, so they can do this on the zone. You see what I'm saying? And I was at the Canelo Jacobs fight. There was a whole lot of empty seats. There was a whole lot of
You know what's fucked up?
Yep, go ahead.
When we went to that fight, I noticed something about that fight. When we went to the for the Spence fight, I remember parking was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And parking is free in Dallas.
well, are you talking about Kovalev Alvarez?
No. I'm talking about the Spence fight when I was talking to you about it.
Oh, Spence Garcia wasn't free because you had to park on at the fucking stadium.
Okay, okay, but parking was a motherfucker. I remember talking about
it. It was.
We were there. I dropped you off at that Canelo Jacobs fight, dude. It was easy to drive in, easy to drive out.
Yeah, it's very. Matter of fact, Bo stopped in the middle of the street to let me out the car.
Sure did.
Wasn't no traffic in front of the T-Mobile Arena. No traffic. Now, getting to the T-Mobile Arena, there was traffic, but them motherfuckers wasn't going to the T-Mobile Arena. Hell yeah, just one. Hey, I'm a big nigga, man, so I drink a lot of water. But you know what's funny, man? Everybody be laughing at me about that shit, bro. I walk around at work with the judge. I go to meetings and shit. They be laughing at me. That's fucked up, man. I don't expect to come home and get on my goddamn podcast and get laughed at, B. No, but Bo's right. When we turned off of, I believe it's Las Vegas Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken, we turned off of that. There was no traffic at the T-Mobile Arena, bro. None. He stopped in the middle of the street, let me out. Shit, we dapped up, said some shit again, started joking, and then I walked away. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was blowing their horn or nothing. So That's a testament, besides the fact that I told you a lot of empty seats was in that motherfucker. That's a testament to how they didn't, at least in ticket sales, get a lot of the revenue that they were expecting to get for this particular caliber of fight. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why right now they're like, we need something big. And that's why that information I got makes sense. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not 100% reliable. But I don't know, man. This starting to make me think, Bo, that the DAZN deal might not have been the best thing for Golden Boy and Canelo, man. What do you think about that, given what I said?
Well, at the end of the day, man, what were they gonna do? Bob Arum had locked everything up at ESPN, right? And he had locked it up so tight. Golden Boy wasn't going to be able to be his own entity within ESPN. They was going to have to probably be a part of, or if not, work for Top Rank pretty much. Right. Because the way Bob Arum has it locked up is anything boxing goes through them.
Right.
You know? So if Oscar didn't want that, then the DAZN was offering $365 million for 11 fights. Looking at it all in all, it probably was at that time when they was making that decision the best deal that they felt that they could make without having to give up a part of themselves as Golden Boy and kind of remain semi-independent.
Right.
But looking at what's been transpiring right now, like you said, yeah, I'm sorry, man. Unless they can turn this around some kind of way, man, you got to scratch your head, because out of that 11 fight deal, that's only 2 fights, man. You got 9 more to go, dog. Either one or two things will happen, man. Either Canelo gonna retire, or he gonna have to go in and get in that ring and risk getting the drubbing. That's he gonna have to get in that ring and risk getting his ass whooped, man.
Well, at the end, let me say something. I don't know, bro. Like,
because I just don't think a fight with Golovkin is gonna even generate. Because Golovkin just came back and fought Steve Rose. Now media and everything about Golovkin been exceptionally quiet, which is unusual. Normally, if you're talking about a big fight, you got to have somebody else is talking about. That's what makes Spence and Crawford so good for us, because they're talking Spence, they're talking Crawford. Nobody's talking Golovkin right now.
Yeah.
So even if you make a Golovkin fight, that's not. I mean, what, you maybe make $100 million off that?
Right.
That's still not enough for what you gave Canelo, in my honest opinion.
I just don't understand. Did they have to go to DAZN? When HBO closed up shop, did they have to go to DAZN?
No, they could have went to Showtime.
Okay. And going to Showtime would have allowed them to make the fights. But see, here's the thing. Showtime has that little contract with PBC. You know, De La Hoya stays far away from PBC as they can. That's why they won't fight Charlo. You see what I'm saying? That fight won't happen. Not because De La Hoya believes that Canelo may lose to Jermall Charlo. It won't happen because of his strained ties with Al Haymon and PBC. That's why it won't happen. I've been telling niggas that ever since Jermall Charlo moved up to 160. I said, yeah, he might fight everybody but Canelo. Yeah. Because they are not Golden Boy and PBC, or let me just say Al Haymon, do not get along, as y'all know about the emails.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't do business at all. So that fight most likely won't fucking happen.
And whatever fight they make is not Oscar and Haymon talking, because they made what, Josecito Lopez, and I think they also made Amir Khan. But that wasn't Oscar and Haymon talking. That was other people in between the two talking. It wasn't them two motherfuckers talking.
Yeah, it wasn't them two talking at all. Right. So, I don't know, man, but I just feel like I don't want to believe that information I got, but when you apply it to what's actually happening, what's actually out there, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense for why DAZN is like only Kovalev and Triple G. Now, my thing is, I wonder, would Sergey Kovalev even generate enough revenue to satisfy them for that one particular fight? I'm not sure about that either. Because remember, we went to Sergey Kovalev, Eleider Alvarez. There was a lot of empty seats in that motherfucker too. And that was a venue that was free parking. You know what I'm saying? It was free over there. They didn't give a fuck. But there was a lot of empty seats, bro. You know what I'm saying? So does Sergey Kovalev even bring in that kind of, or generate that kind of revenue, generate that kind of intrigue that will get them the type of money they're looking for out of that kind of fight? I mean, it is. I mean, the motherfucker will be jumping up 2 weight classes. That's intrigue right there, right?
Right.
Kovalev did win his last fight rather easily. He is the WBO champion. He's no longer the boogeyman that he was before he fought Andre Ward, but he's got a tiny bit of steam on him right now because he got the belt back. But is that enough, though, Bo? Would that have been enough?
No, I don't think Kovalev been enough. See, I mentioned Gilberto Ramirez because of this, right? For whatever reason, Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez did very good from a financial standpoint. I think
that's because they build it as the War for Mexico or the Battle of Mexico and all that.
Which is why Gilberto Ramirez is perfect for this.
I agree 100%.
Gilberto Ramirez come back down to 168. You fight him, you can have that fight in Mexico in a stadium of 100,000 motherfucking people.
Yeah.
And set that shit off.
Yeah, I agree.
That fight would do good because you're talking. The entire Mexican fan base would attend that bitch. They would be the ones that would make that shit hot.
Yeah.
Right? I would be intrigued because Gilberto Ramirez, Canelo will be fighting a bigger dude than Gilberto Ramirez. Gilberto Ramirez is good enough to present a challenge, okay? And he's undefeated and a former champion. That's a huge accolade right there for you. And it's a better winnable fight for Canelo Alvarez and a better sellable fight. I don't think you can say, and I agree with you because the later Alvarez fight, and people might say, well, they had it in Texas. There's no fan. Well, what fans anywhere in the United States can you say that you can make a fight for Kovalev that will attract people to come see?
Yeah, right.
See what I'm saying? Where? Y'all tell me where. Y'all tell me where because it won't be Los Angeles. I guarantee you that. So no, I think that Gilberto Ramirez is the fight they should be targeting if you're talking about making some money. Right, that's a fight I really believe right now. You'll get a very good chunk of money for that fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let me go to the chat real quick, man. We Degree said, with Canelo's knee, I bet he's out for at least 6 months. Comeback fight with Boo Boo Andrade. Nah, they ain't gonna make that comeback fight. Listen, man, Andrade has every opportunity to defeat Canelo Alvarez, and they don't need that to happen again. Losing to Floyd Mayweather, you can use that loss as a boost to who you are, as they've already done. You see what I'm saying? But losing to fucking Demetrius Andrade, understand, the narrative on Demetrius Andrade is still that he only fights once a year because he signed to Banner Promotions. Even though this nigga signed to Matchroom and On DAZN, niggas is out there still saying he signed to Banner Promotions, only fights once a year. I said, bro, he already fought twice this year.
He sure did. and looking to fight a third time.
Exactly. He's not inactive anymore. He's not with Banner anymore. He's with Matchroom now. He's on DAZN. What the fuck are you talking about? But they still talk about Andrade as he's a nobody. So if Canelo were to come back off a knee injury and lose to this motherfucker, do you understand how much of a fan base he just lost? They're not going to risk that. So that wouldn't happen. Let me go to the next one. He said, my man Chris M said, we agree Boo Boo ain't no comeback fight. Right. Exactly. Let me keep going. Kurt Warden said PBC running boxing. They run boxing to an extent. Certain divisions. Like 175, they don't run 175 at all. That's all top rank. 135, that's all top rank. You know what I'm saying? 118, mostly top rank. You know what I'm saying? They don't run all of boxing, not at all, bro. Some divisions, some that do not. Let's see. Chris M said at the bottom, he said, I'm waiting on these guys to talk about the revenue of potential Andrade fight and keeping DAZN happy. They still on Golovkin and Kovalev. There is no revenue, Chris M.
No. There's no revenue at all in the Andrade fight. I'm sorry.
That's why DAZN don't want it.
Yeah, Andrade doesn't have the he doesn't have a good enough resume for you to even sell him. Like Daniel Jacobs, was outside the fact he was IBF champion, people still remember what he did against Gennady Golovkin. He put up a very good fight against Gennady Golovkin, right? So that was enough for you to make that fight. Andrade doesn't have anything for you. I mean, what do you sell? What? Oh, Andrade biggest win, Alontis Fox, Willie Nelson. You know, on top of the fact, like what my man just said, people are still acting like he's still over here with fucking Banner Promotions. You know, he just got done fighting Selecki, so there's not enough on his resume for you to even tried to do something to generate a big enough fight for him. And the only reason, like, now I will say, because it's funny you say that, because this is why I keep mentioning Gilberto Ramirez. His resume actually is better because he got, even though they passed their prime, he got Arthur Abrams. He got Jesse Hart. That's actually better than what Boo Boo has.
So my man Weed Degree said, Prodigy, I think Canelo Boo Boo would sell. I mean, I think Canelo Boo Boo would do probably a little bit better than Canelo and Daniel Jacobs.
I agree with that.
And the only reason why
because of the risk factor.
This much better, and the only reason why I say that is because Demetrius Andrade has been creating some type of intrigue as he's been all over in the media. Hell, matter of fact, we might be getting an interview with him on Sunday. I'm going to be posting that shit on Facebook and on YouTube. Understand, if we get that, the interview's already set. He just has to show up. If he shows up and we get that interview, understand that I'm going to be antagonizing the fuck out of Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? They ducked you, nigga, for 6 years. What you going to say, bro? I'm going to antagonize the fuck out of Demetrius Andrade.
Oh, man.
We're going to create even more intrigue. You see what I'm saying? So, that's the only reason why it would be this much better. Because, as I said, the narrative is still out there on Andrade as a guy who hasn't fought anybody. I'm going to put it on this channel, Chris M, but it'll be on Facebook, too. But the narrative is he hasn't fought anybody. I mean, as soon as you mention Demetrius Andrade's name, dog, the majority of fucking fans out there are saying, well, who is he beating? Who's the best name on his resume? Vanes Martirosyan? And then you know how motherfuckers are when they look at a fighter and what he's done last. They say, well, Vanes Martirosyan just got knocked out by Gennady Golovkin. He's a nobody. Even though when Demetrius fought him, he was an undefeated fighter at 154 pounds, and he was one of the best fighters at 154. But they don't give a fuck about that, because that's not what recently happened with Vanes Martirosyan. You see what I'm saying? So, the fact that Golovkin pulverized this nigga at 160, division the nigga didn't fight at, and he was on a 2-year layoff, none of that matters.
Nope.
They just saw what happened, so they said, well, Demetrius beat him, but that ain't shit either then, because Golovkin did it. That's what they do. So what I'm saying is Golovkin effectively watered down Andrade's best win on his resume, even though he did it before Golovkin did it, and he still watered it down. You see? Come on, people. Y'all got to be smarter than this. Y'all know what's up.
That's why the Billy Joe Saunders fight was extremely important to Boo Boo, in my honest opinion.
Absolutely. That was extremely important. It would have been definitely it would have set him up to get more popularity and intrigue. The narrative of who has he fought and what has he done and he only fights once a year, all that shit would have been gone if he would have beaten Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO title. Hell, they're even saying he was given his title, dog. They're even saying this, Bo. They're saying he was given his title. I said, hold on. Billy Joe Saunders is the one that had motherfucking had that Lisa Kudrow in his motherfucking his nasal spray. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker had that Jennifer Aniston in his nasal spray, nigga. That wasn't Andrade's fault.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit. But then decided to go to 168 instead of fighting him.
Exactly, Bo. And then he talking all this shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When I get up off my motherfucking suspension, nigga, I'm about to fight. And he said this verbatim. He said, nigga, I'm about to fight Demetrius Andrade next and fuck him up. And then they said, well, Gilberto Ramirez just vacated his belt. And the number one contender is some motherfucker named She-Fat. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, She-Fat? Oh, hold up, nigga, hold up. All I got to do is beat a motherfucker named She-Fat? Oh, I'm going to 168. That's what, is that not what happened, Bo?
That's what he did.
That's what happened.
He did.
Beat a nigga named She-Fat? Oh, shit, I'm up there 100%. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what he did. And then that's when Andrade got the title. Motherfuckers is like, oh, he beat Walter Katandakwa. That is mean shit. Oh, he beat Artur Akavov. That doesn't mean shit. Oh, he beat Masage Selecki. That doesn't mean shit. While they do have a point, I'm not going to say they don't have a point, Bo. Walter Katandakwa was a nobody. He was undefeated, but he was a nobody. Artur Akavov already got beaten by Billy Joe Saunders. Actually, Akavov was Billy Joe Saunders' first title defense when he got the WBO title.
Sure was.
Yep.
Sure was. Was.
Ironically, right, it was Demetrius Andrade's first defense too. And then you got Masej Salecki, who had already been beaten by Daniel Jacobs and had that horrendous 11 and 12th round against Gabe Rosado, which dropped his stock tremendously. Even though he was winning that motherfucking fight, the whole fight, the way he looked in that 11th and 12th round dropped his shit from here to down here, out of the camera range, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they have a point when they say these things, bruh. But at the end of the day, what they don't understand is the history of Canelo and Demetrius Andrade. And boy, when I get that motherfucking interview, dog, we going all the way back. We going back to 2013, 154. We going back to Alfredo Angulo and fucking James Kirkland. We going back. And I'm going to have that motherfucker all over the place. Yeah, hey, I've never seen Demetrius Andrade curse before. But he going to be dropping a whole lot of motherfuckers when I get done with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell him, Demetrius, give me a motherfucker. Real talk, though, man. But at the end of the day, we get way off track, but that's what it is. At the end of the day, the fans are not clamoring for a Demetrius Andrade fight. Therefore, it won't sell as much as, it won't be that much more than the Daniel Jacobs fight because the fans weren't clamoring for that fight either.
No, there wasn't.
That's why. Fan intrigue prior to a matchup is key. And that's why you got these promoters trying to marinate shit all the time because they're trying to maximize fan intrigue. And Demetrius Andrade and Canelo does not have that, man. You got anything you want to add, Bo?
Yeah, I want to say something. I think a lot of reasons why. Another thing, if Canelo Alvarez is a victim of his own abilities, meaning that he beat Daniel Jacobs so easily. Like if that would have been a hard fight, I think we probably would be getting a Canelo fight against whoever the fuck he wants to fight.
Yeah.
Right? If that would have been a tough fight, like if that was actually a tough fight, I think cats would have been like, all right, you know what? Fans probably would have been enough. And DAZN even would have probably said, okay, man, we see what's going on. The fans is all right with you taking a little light touch, you know? But because he beat him so easily, it's like, nah, motherfucker, nah, hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And I think that is also what's hurting Canelo Alvarez right now because that was so damn easy. The catch is like, nah, man, nah, hell no. So, yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with Chris M. He said, me, though, I'd rather see Andre as Canelo's next opponent. Don't want to see another Golovkin fight. I agree with that. Only reason why I want Canelo Golovkin to happen again is so I can make some more money off of it. That's it. Because I made a nice little killing off of the rematch. You know what I'm saying?
You post that shit on Facebook.
I posted on Facebook. And so I wanted to happen again. That's the only reason, bro. Mo Money said, is Jacobs done? Daniel Jacobs?
I'm not going to say done as far as boxing. Jacob still has some value. He can beat some of the other C-level guys. I think as far as on a championship level, he's not willing to fight Andre, which I don't understand that. I don't care how cool we are, man. If my way to my path to the championship is through you, then, hey, man, I'm going to have to come get that smoke. But as far as on the championship level, I think he is. I don't think he beats Demetrius Andrade. I don't think he beats Canelo, and I don't see them making a Charlo fight either. So
right. Mo Money. Go to 3kingsboxing.com. There's a search bar. In that search bar, type in Charlo. All right, just Charlo. Hit enter. First article you will see is the case for Daniel Jacobs versus Jermall Charlo. You're asking if Daniel Jacobs is done? That's the fight he needs to try to get next. Because you want to know why? Fan intrigue. Everybody remembers in 2018 when Jermall Charlo was talking all that shit and Daniel Jacobs walked by and said, oh, I got here just in time.
Exactly. He was doing the Ralph Cramner.
Exactly, bro. So fan intrigue is still pretty high about Charlo Jacobs. People want to see that fight. He needs to go he needs to tell Eddie Hearn, hey, talk with Al Haymon, give me that fight. Those two have done business before. There's no problem there. Only thing that they'll have a problem with is the network. Where's the fight going to happen at? But they could work something out there. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank worked it out with Maurice Hooker and Jose Ramirez. That unification that's happening on the 27th, right? They worked it out there.
That's on DAZN, I believe.
Huh? Yeah.
That's on DAZN.
Exactly. Top Rank said, yeah, put it on DAZN. Fuck it. We want it. We think Ramirez beats him, which I do too. You know what I'm saying? So they can work something out. Go over there. Try to get that motherfucking fight with Jermall Charlo, you know what I'm saying? And then we will see if he's done. Yeah, he did, Chris M. He said he was going to go to 168, but he don't have no plan there. He didn't say who he was seeking. He just said, hey, I'm going to go to 168. Just like Andre Durrell told us a year ago he was going to 175.
I'm still waiting on that announcement.
Yeah, he told us, I'm exaggerating when I say a year ago. It was like last August.
That nigga, that's a year. That's good enough for me.
Exactly.
That's good enough. That's
and that motherfucker still ain't at 175. All he doing is holding Clarissa Shields belts and shit because that's the closest that nigga get to a world title. Damn, that's fucked up. Let me go to the next one. Let me go to the next one. Andre.
Oh man, Derek Fields gave us a nice little compliment.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't even see it, man. Let me read that. He said it's refreshing to hear facts on here instead of some bullshit biased-ass narrative some of these other channels be pushing. Andrade is a skilled dog and needs the Canelo fight to solidify it. I agree 100%. And he should get the Canelo fight. I'm not saying he shouldn't get it. I think he should. But the business is not going to allow him to get it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. All right, what you got for me next, Bo?
All right, man. All right, so next up. Keithan Gregory Josephine Thurman.
Josephine!
Flute boy. Long hair, light skin, wanna be tough motherfucker. He got 3 days to back up all that shit he was talking. He got 3 days to either remain relevant or fade the fuck on off into what I already think you are in, semi-motherfucking retirement. So he can bounce on that pussy all goddamn day long as much as he motherfucking wants. Okay? Listen, man. This fight is a very good fight. It's going to be a very telling fight, right? And I'm telling you right now, man, for me, and I said this, I'll say this right here too. I'm not saying I have something against Keith Thurman. I don't. But what I'm saying is, with the way he was talking about how easily he's going to beat Manny Pacquiao, I'm going off of what Thurman was saying, okay? Let's get this straight. If you've been listening to what Thurman was saying, Pacquiao should be easy. This should be no problem. He should be mopping the fucking floor with him. So I'm going to go off what he said. If he has a performance that is less than Jeff Horn, I will not, even if he win, I will be saying whoever wins the unified title between Spence and Porter, I'll be saying, you know, the unified champion. Then I'll be saying the WBO champion, Terence Crawford, and then, you know, that dude that's holding the 4th belt. That's exactly how the fuck I'm gonna refer to this motherfucker.
That nigga the side bitch. That's what he gonna be. He gonna be the Anthony Durrell of 147.
Yep, that's exactly what he gonna be. Right? You know, my man Prodigy say this all the time. He's absolutely right. One of the things, and there's a few, one of the things that bugs me about PBC fighters is these dudes don't have PR people and they actually do more harm than good with themselves. Because with the way you're talking as if Pacquiao ain't shit, Pacquiao ain't done shit, and Pacquiao ain't gonna be shit. Well, then what the fuck is you fighting him for then? Why the fuck should I pay my money to watch you fight a motherfucker that ain't shit then? So you shooting yourself in, I mean, this is your foot, motherfucker, and this is you. That's what the fuck you doing.
All up in your own ass.
When you talk like that. Yep. You know, Mr. One Time.
Exactly.
You know, you finally got your one time at a fucking pay-per-view. You want to show your ass. So, Man, he got 3 days, man. And honestly speaking, man, if Keith Thurman loses this fight, I don't give a fuck if it's by decision. And especially if Manny Pacquiao hurts this month. Manny Pacquiao hurts Keith Thurman and almost drops or even drops Keith Thurman. Dog, I don't know what he does. I really don't know what he does because he's going to have to take another fight to prove to everybody, well, you know, it was Pacquiao. Pacquiao's a great fighter. No, Keith, you told us the motherfucker wasn't shit, Keith. You told us the motherfucker 40 years old. And now let me say something too. Speaking as someone that's 40 plus years old, I'd be damn a motherfucker with a ponytail whoop my ass. And I think that's what Pacquiao thinks right now. I think Pacquiao like, I'd be damn. A motherfucker with a ponytail playing a flute gonna whoop my ass.
Hell no, man. A virgin, by the way.
All right, yeah.
Nigga just got some pussy, man. Manny Pacquiao been fucking hoes. Remember he was in the tabloids about cheating on his wife?
Hell yeah.
Pacquiao been getting hoes,
deep end and shit.
Yeah, Pacquiao be look, man, that motherfucker be parading around like that nice motherfucker. Pacquiao's out here in these streets. Not paying his taxes and fucking hoes.
Hey. Yes,
Pacquiao out here, bro, in the media. I try to make best fight. Hold on. Bitch, get your ass over here. Give me some of that dome. I try to make best fight. That's Pacquiao for real. Try to tell y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But look, real talk, man. Absolutely, Keith Thurman cannot afford to be subpar, bro. Mm-mm. He can't, man. He cannot afford to be subpar. I'm gonna get to that comment in a minute because I've been talking to my man Corey Cunningham. 3 Kings boxing in the house.
What up, C-Dub?
And he's got a little difference of opinion, but we're gonna get to that. But he really can't afford it, man. All the shit talking he's done, as I've said in the past, these motherfuckers gotta get PR people, man. They gotta get PR people, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you have effectively talked your way into having or needing a flawless performance now. See, before people were like, Manny Pacquiao's 40, we understand that. As I said before, boxing is a sport of what have you done lately? You see what I'm saying? And lately, Manny Pacquiao destroyed Adrian Broner, right? Adrian Broner, lost 2 other times before that. Hell, Adrian Broner's like 0-2-1 in his last 3. You know what I'm saying? So he was 1-1 in his last 2 before he lost to Pacquiao. You see what I'm saying? He had that loss to Mikey Garcia and a draw to fucking Jesse Vargas. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, people didn't really expect much, especially after he talked that shit and got completely demoralized by Mikey Garcia. But they still figured, well, Manny Pacquiao's a little old. Adrian Broner might beat him. A couple cats out there recently I just heard said that they picked Adrian Broner to beat Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So, some people thought it could happen. And when he beat Adrian Broner the way he did, they was like, damn, he looked really good. He didn't look the way he looked against fucking Jeff Horn. He looked extremely well. You see what I'm saying? So his stock actually rose. Even though it was Adrian Broner, it still rose. You see what I'm saying? So coming into the Keith Thurman fight, they're like, dog, this is a tough fight. Pacquiao still got his legs. Calf muscle still big as my motherfucking head. He can still move, right? He can still hurt you. He still got the hand speed. He's still providing the angles. Hey, this could be a tough matchup. Now they're like, Keith, you better kill this nigga. Bro, on top of them understanding this is still a tough matchup, they're still expecting Keith to murk this dude now. You see? So if he goes in there, gets hit to the body like he did against Luis Collazo and run away from Pacquiao, it's just that alone, it's over. It ain't even about losing. It's about not looking good now, bro. You know what I'm saying? He could have lost to Manny Pacquiao previous to all the shit talking, right?
Yep.
And they still would have been like, but it was Manny Pacquiao, man. Dude's good, man. He's a really good fighter.
Dude, he could have got a split decision victory.
Yeah. And they did have been like, we understand. You know what I'm saying? Now you done fucked up and made it to where it's about looking good now, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, bruh, at the end of the day, and I'm going to break it down because, the fight's going to happen and shit. I don't know if we're going to do another podcast before we jump, before the fight happens. So I'm going to break it down. At the end of the day, and I'm going to take my man Corey's talking point just a little bit. I ain't going to take all of it. He made a good point. He said Keith Thurman fights somewhat like a Sergio Martinez in that he doesn't utilize that jab. You see what I'm saying? He's basically sitting, and I'm going to put my own spin on this. He's basically sitting mostly at mid-range distance. When he's not doing that, he can move around the ring. But he sits at mid-range distance. You know what I'm saying? And, oh yeah, we got it, Weed Degree. We definitely got that.
We got that.
He sits at mid-range distance. He's really looking to lead with that straight right hand. Or he's trying to bait somebody into one of his hooks. If he's on the inside, he tries to land that uppercut. But he's never setting anything up with the jab. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about Manny Pacquiao is he is susceptible to the highest degree against boxers. Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, right? I forgot the guy's name that he lost to. I can't think of the guy's name early in his career. Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about, too.
Yeah, can't think of the guy's name right now. Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? He's susceptible to boxers. You see what I'm saying? To beat Manny Pacquiao, you keep the jab in his face, and you have to make sure that you're at a safe enough distance, basically judging range, so that when he provides that angle, and what Pacquiao likes to do is he likes to dip right and come in with that straight left hand. He was killing Tim Bradley with that shit. Tim Bradley would always feint for the fucking dip to his right, and he would fall for it, and he would leave himself wide open right up the middle. Bah! See, head going like that every time. And see, Tim Bradley didn't judge distance very well. You see what I'm saying? Keep the jab in his face. Judge distance when Manny Pacquiao lunges in, because he lunges in quite a bit. That's what got him knocked out against Juan Manuel Marquez.
Yes, sir.
When he lunges in, shoot straight right hand down the pipe. I'll use Tim Bradley again, the second fight. Remember, Pacquiao lunged in. What did Tim Bradley do? Straight right hand down the pipe. Lifted Manny Pacquiao off his fucking feet, bro.
Sure
that was
did.
The second fight. You see what I'm saying? So, this is what Keith Thurman has to do. The way that he boxed Danny Garcia, majority of that fight, he has to do this against Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people are going to say, oh, he should run in there and run him over. I disagree. Because if he does that, Manny Pacquiao is going to be well within range to be able to use his footwork to get around Keith Thurman. You see what I'm saying? So he's got to stay pretty much at mid-range distance to the outside range and keep the jab out there. Everything he does, he got a jab. Jab, jab, jab. But see, as Corey said, he doesn't have the jab.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a fucking issue. So what I think he can do to basically cover up the fact that he doesn't have a jab, he's got to use feints. He's got to make Manny Pacquiao think he's going to jab. Now, Manny Pacquiao has been around for a long time. All right? And Manny Pacquiao can easily make an adjustment. But here's the deal. When have you seen Manny Pacquiao make an adjustment against a boxer?
Never.
Exactly. When he beat Tim Bradley those 2 times, it was Tim Bradley that beat himself. You see what I'm saying? I think it was the second fight. He said he hurt his ankle or some shit and said, I need to knock him out. But I didn't believe that he hurt his ankle because before the fight, he said the game plan was to knock Manny Pacquiao out. Why? Because because the dumb motherfucker was feeding into the goddamn fans where they were basically saying, oh, you didn't really beat Manny Pacquiao in the first fight. You got to show us something. He was feeding into the fans. You see what I'm saying? The third fight, the nigga had just finished sucking Manny Pacquiao's dick. You know what I'm saying? And then sucked it again after the fight. I mean, this motherfucker was talking about how much of a fan he was of Manny Pacquiao before he got in the ring with him, bro. He had already lost walking to the goddamn ring. You know what I'm saying? So, what's good, BFT Boxing? So, the motherfucker had the nigga's dick halfway down his goddamn windpipe. You know what I'm saying? Before he got in the ring, bro. That's what lost him that third fight. He didn't do anything he was supposed to do. Anything that actually got him the rounds that he won in that first fight. Nothing, bro. You see what I'm saying? So that's how Manny Pacquiao beat Tim Bradley, the boxer, twice. You see what I'm saying? See, Keith Thurman's not coming into the ring as a fucking fan of Manny Pacquiao. So all he's got to do is make sure he's judging distance very well and make Manny Pacquiao think he's going to jab. And when you make him think you're going to jab, you always follow up with that straight right hand that you like to lead with. And get the fuck out of range after that. Man, this is a tough fight, bro. And you know what? I'm going to go off of instinct. Because I don't think Keith Thurman wants to be done yet. So I think he's going to do enough to get him a split decision, bro. I think he beats Manny Pacquiao. But it's going to be close. I can even see Keith Thurman. One thing about Keith Thurman is this. He's not a dumb fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I told Corey earlier today he's not as smart as Sergio Martinez. Sergio Martinez is a much smarter fighter than Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman's very dynamic. He can fight from the outside. He can fight at mid-range distance. And he got a little bit of an inside game. It ain't great. But it's a little bit. Let me say this. It's better than Pacquiao's. His inside game is better than Manny Pacquiao's. Pacquiao don't have an inside game. Pacquiao wants to get out of the inside. Go back and watch Jeff Horn fight. He wants to get out of there. You see what I'm saying? So I think if they find themselves on the inside, Keith Thurman will be able to bully him. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, no, I'm saying that, Chris. He has a little bit of an inside game. That's what I said. So it's better than Manny Pacquiao's is what I'm saying. So if them two get on the inside, I'm taking Keith Thurman on the inside, 100%. You see what I'm saying? Plus he's the bigger fighter.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, though, he's got to stay on the outside. Stay mid-range. You see what I'm saying? I think he beats him, man. I think he beats him. I think there's too much on the line. I think he understands that. I think he beats him, bro. Split decision. What you got?
Man, listen, everything you said, you broke down very, very good. Like, really, it's very little even need to be added, which is why I tell y'all, watch this fucking show. You ain't gonna get nothing like that. Like, motherfucker says some shit so good that the only thing you can do is get your prediction. But I'm not a dumb motherfucker either. Right? I got some shit. Here's something else, too. Y'all remember what I said about Pacquiao saying I ain't gonna let a motherfucker with a ponytail? Keith Thurman is also saying I'm not gonna let an old motherfucker beat my ass either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because at the end of the day, reflect upon something. When it comes to Errol Spence, it's not on my to-do list. When it came to Terence Crawford, that fight don't interest me, right? But when it comes to Pacquiao, he's talking slick. Keith Thurman knows what's on the line. Now, here's where I think, and this is why I'm going to go with Keith, but I'm still going to refer to him as. Keith Thurman is not facing that Manny Pacquiao that would do all that. Because, I hear some of y'all talking about his feints. He doesn't feint the way he used to feint.
No, not
like,
at all.
Go back and watch when he fought De La Hoya. Go back and watch, the first Bradley fight. Or go back and watch the Marquez, any of the Marquez fights. He doesn't feint like he used to feint, and do like that. He doesn't do those hard feints and those triple and double feints and then step to the side and slide like that no more.
Nope.
Okay? His body has tremendously slowed down to where when he does feint, by the time he feints to get back, you can hit him with the straight right hand, which is what Floyd Mayweather was doing.
Yes, sir.
Every time Pacquiao tried to feint, he was taking too long to get back. Straight right hand down the pipe and down the middle. Okay,
yep.
Manny Pacquiao does not keep his foot on the outside, so he can shift and move out of the way like he used to. Floyd Mayweather constantly kept that motherfucker trapped for that straight right hand because Floyd made it a point to keep his foot on the outside, and when his foot wasn't forward, he would step back, boop, and then reposition himself. That's something else that Keith Thurman can do. Keith Thurman is also the bigger man. What I learned about the Jeff Horn fight was if you do start attacking Manny Pacquiao only has a limited ability in the tank to attack back before he's done. And I saw that in that Jeff Horn fight because when he had Jeff Horn hurt, he couldn't finish him because he no longer had it. He no longer had that killer instinct. If Keith Thurman can raise his killer instinct level up over what we saw from Manny Pacquiao, he can get on Manny Pacquiao, frustrate Manny Pacquiao, and give him something to fucking think about. And understand something, when you're over 40 years old, punches feel a hell of a lot more different at 40 than they ever fucking did at 35, than they ever fucking did at 30.
Right.
Okay. Right. Keith Thurman is still a very hard puncher, and Manny Pacquiao is going to have to watch out for that. Keith Thurman is still a dude that throws very good combinations. He caught Shawn Porter with one. He caught Danny Garcia with one. Keith Thurman does have good enough footwork to where he can slide and move out of trouble and out of range of one that's attacking him. Yep. So he has those advantages, right? Manny Pacquiao is very good at being able to position himself to hit you with a punch, but he's not committing to his punches either. I saw that even in the Broner fight. He wasn't like Manny Pacquiao before. You would see him stop playing, pow, and commit. He don't commit no more. He's doing that to see what happens.
Yep.
He's not committing to those punches anymore. Yep. So this is where I think Keith Thurman has the advantage. The only thing Thurman's going to have to worry about is if Pacquiao gets him hurt. If Pacquiao gets Keith Thurman hurt, it could change the complexity of the entire fight, because now Pacquiao will know to himself, okay, I can still hurt this young dude. Because mind you, this is the first young dude that Pacquiao's been fighting. This is uncharted water for Manny Pacquiao also. So if Pacquiao hurt Keith Thurman, he can say, okay, I can hurt him. All right. Hence why he went back to Freddie Roach, to make him a more offensive-minded fighter, because that's what he's going to need against Keith Thurman. He can't think about defense. He's going to have to be all offense, because the one thing about Thurman does not have what I like to call movement defensibility. He has blocking defensibility, which is he'll do this until you stop, then he'll reset.
Yeah.
He's not going to move out the way. He's just going to do this until you stop, and then he's going to reset.
Well, let me ask you this. If he does that, won't that give Manny Pacquiao opportunities to tee off? Because Manny Pacquiao can do what Vasyl Lomachenko does. Not as good anymore, but he's still capable of doing what Vasyl Lomachenko does, and that is staying in range. If he's going to cover up like this, he'll stay in range, provide the fucking triangle, right? The 3 points. Keep Thurman inside of a triangle, right? In the middle of those 3 points of him pivoting, and keep throwing punches. Step back out, step back in. Isn't he capable of doing that? And wouldn't that win him some rounds even if he's not landing punches?
That was I was going to that.
Oh, my bad.
What this does is whether no, it's cool. Whether or not it hurts whether or not it hurts Thurman or not, whether or not they're landing, it gives the appearance to the judges Pacquiao's winning this fight. And when you're fighting a great fighter, you have to come. This is what everybody have to remember. Marvelous Marvin Hagler had to learn this the very hard way. When you're fighting a perceived popular great fighter, you have to prove you beat that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's why if Keith Thurman does that cover up, this advantage Manny Pacquiao. But I think Keith Thurman is going to pull it out. I think he's going to understand what's all on the line and pull it out.
I agree. One thing I want to say before we move on, or before I go into the chat, is that feints are going to be key. I know I said this before, but I want to emphasize on that. Keith Thurman has to feint his motherfucking ass off and make Manny Pacquiao jump at it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's got to make him react. When he makes him react, then you can establish a pattern that your opponent is making. You see what I'm saying? And then that's when you are able to exploit that pattern that you have found. You see? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the footwork, when it comes to the ability that Keith Thurman doesn't have in jabbing, right? So you don't have the nullifier that keeps the faster fighter away from you, or at least resetting. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't have that nullifier. Well, in that case, if you look at it, Keith Thurman is really at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's feinting, I believe Manny Pacquiao will be a little cautious, because Keith Thurman does have punching power. And Manny Pacquiao has been knocked out twice in his career. You see what I'm saying? That always does something to the psyche of a fighter. Doesn't matter how great he is.
I agree with that.
You see what I'm saying? He understands Keith is a bigger puncher and he's the bigger man. So if Keith is feigning at him, letting him think, hey, I'm doing this or I'm about to do that, Manny Pacquiao is going to bite. I guarantee it. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So that shit is going to be key. And I want Keith to at least flick the motherfucking jab out there, nigga. Just flick it out there, bro. Just give me a little, just something. Yeah, a little something, nigga. God damn. Do something.
Right.
Let me go to the chat, man. My man BFT Boxing was in here wilding, man. I heard him earlier. Or I read it earlier. I don't know where it's at, though. Oh, man. He said some shit. What he said, man? He said, I don't like Keith. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. He was saying I got Pacquiao. He was saying Keith Thurman is not a Floyd Mayweather when you were talking about setting him up for the straight right hand. He said, I don't like Keith. Keith is a beast, but he's a coward. I agree. He is a coward. But when Keith is fighting, listen, Keith takes fights he thinks he can win. You see what I'm saying?
Very true.
He is a coward, but when he gets in the ring, he's no longer a coward. He's like, I'm about to fight this motherfucker. And that's where he is the best at, basically, when he's in the ring. He's terrible when he's out the ring. You see what I'm saying? But the best Keith Thurman moment comes in the ring. You see what I'm saying? So I think in this situation, that won't apply. Also, in order to set a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao up for the straight right hand, you ain't got to be Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? He's not as fast as he used to be. Reflexes are not as good as they used to be. Actually, Manny Pacquiao's reflexes were never really that great. You see what I'm saying? They're never really that great. And now he's 40. What does that make him now? You know what I'm saying? So he could definitely set that motherfucker up for a straight right hand. But like I said, feigning is key. Let me go into the chat again, man. My man Tyler Perkins. This cat knows his shit, man. I was talking to him in the chat in the video before. This motherfucker knows his boxing. He said Pac is much more of a defensive counterpuncher these days. Has been for the most part since 2012. Once one of the trains, the Floyd fight was boring. He was throwing 40 punches per round, half what he needed. So I'm guessing he's saying he didn't throw enough punches against Floyd Mayweather because he was incorporating the defensive counterpunching style. Now, the reason why I won't say he won't do this against Keith Thurman is because with Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao understood that Floyd is just as fast. He's more wily. He's a smarter fighter. And he's more rounded. He's more giftedly rounded anyway than Keith Thurman. You see what I'm saying? Pacquiao understood what he was getting in the ring with, one of the best fighters ever. Keith Thurman, not so much. So I don't think he's going to be playing the defensive counterpuncher style. I think he's going to fight Keith Thurman the way that he fought Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to my man Corey. He said, let me go to Chris M. Chris M said, I disagree, Bo. I want to see Keith. Niggas be calling this nigga Keith, man.
I know. That shit's funny to me.
I want to see Keith clinch when hurt rather than back up or run around and run like a headless chicken a la the Collazo fight. I agree with that. What do you think, Bo?
No, I agree with him. And I'm glad you said that because I thought he was disagreeing with what I said because I never said that. But no, I agree with what you're saying. Keith Thurman shouldn't do this right here. Like you said, he needs to clinch and grab Manny Pacquiao. You know, see, the thing about shorter fighters, and I can contest this as being one, we like being able to get up in your chest. I don't like when you up in my chest.
Right.
Okay? I like being there because my momentum is based off of my ability to move and get up in your chest. When you get up in my chest, I'm trying to make space and be more on the defensive to get the room that I need to, regain my momentum. So I definitely agree. Keith shouldn't try to do this and move back. He should definitely grab and clinch Manny Pacquiao, especially being the stronger fighter. You got to tire this 40-year-old man out. How do you do it? You grab and hold him and make him use his strength to try to get away from you. Tire him out.
Yep, exactly. Very good point. My man Corey Cunningham said, nah, 2K, if you pause with the jab, he'll get clipped throwing that raggedy shit. That's why Corey, he needs to pause with that bitch. And this is my thing. If he pause with it, he's got to set the straight right hand up immediately. You know what I'm saying? Maybe pause with it a little bit, 1 or 2 times, set the straight right hand up. Even if it only lands on the glove of Manny Pacquiao, it's enough power to make Manny Pacquiao think, I don't want that bitch to hit me flush. You know what I'm saying? And he needs to make sure he's out of range. Manny Pacquiao has short-ass arms. So he's got to make sure he's out of range when he's doing that. And he won't get clipped. All right, man. Let's move on to the next one, bro. We're going to break down Dillian Whyte, Oscar Rivas.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, before I do this, I want people to understand. If you're looking at the screen, there's 2 fights that are happening. One is on Friday. And the reason why I put these 2 fights up is because we already know Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman's happening. We already know Dillian White, Oscar Rivas is happening. Those are the 2 biggest fights that are happening this particular weekend. But these 2 fights I put up here are very key because they're both eliminators. Ironically, they're both in the lightweight division, respectively the women's and the men's. On Friday, you got Teofimo Lopez versus Masayuki Nakatani, right? That is the lightweight IBF eliminator. The winner of this fight is supposed to be the mandatory for champion, Richard Commey. That's on Friday. Also, you got Chantel Cameron versus Anisha Bashil. That is a WBC title eliminator. Now, the undisputed champion at lightweight in the females division is, of course, Katie Taylor. The winner of this fight is going to be the WBC mandatory for Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be on Saturday. The times and the network is on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason why that Chantel Cameron fight is key is because Cameron and Katie Taylor are fucking sworn amateur enemies. Cameron wants this fight bad. Katie Taylor said, yeah, I'll fight Cameron, but she got to, basically get some type of status. You know what I'm saying? Didn't Cameron lose to Taylor twice in the amateurs? I know she lost to her once. Okay. So she lost to her twice. So Cameron is a very good fighter as well. And understand, Katie Taylor just went through that grueling ass fight, a fight I thought she lost against Delphine Persoon. So she got a little bit of miles on her, even though she's only fought, 14 fights, 15 fights, something like that. So Chantel Cameron, this is an excellent opportunity for her, but she got to beat this Bashil bitch first. And this girl is no joke. She no joke.
She ready. She said she ready. I talked to her earlier. Yeah. She said she ready. So
no doubt. So yeah, check them 2 fights out if you can, man. All right, man. Oscar Rivas, Dillian White. Now, fuckery first. Dillian White cannot lose this fight, bro.
No.
If he wins this fight, if you guys follow 3 Kings Boxing or you got your news wherever else, you understand that the WBC is now allowing the winner of this fight to be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, BFTB. My man put $2 on. He said, there it is. Cook, Kings, cook. Y'all are special. I appreciate you, big dog. But the WBC is going to allow the winner to be the mandatory for Dillian White. Now,
for Deontay
Wilder? Excuse me.
Right,
now,
I got you.
Yeah, we've interviewed Chantel Cameron a few times, man. You can go to 3kingsboxing.com, click on that interview link or that interview tab. All the interviews sitting right there. I think the Chantel Cameron's up there. I might need to move it over. But if it ain't up there, let me know. I'll move it over. But, dog, this is the fight he always wanted. This is the fight he's been wanting for 2 years, bro. This is the fight he's been wanting since he beat Robert Helenius. Excuse me. Right? By the way, there's a certain somebody who likes to rap about how good the day was, you know, playing dominoes, yelling dominoes and shit, you know. Fuck the girl he been waiting to fuck for a long time. Mama cooked the breakfast with no hog, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker said Dillian White ain't never gonna be the mandatory. Well, look what happened now. Where you at, Ice Chips? That motherfucker carcass somewhere in the street, bro. That was a fucking, nigga, that was a murder, bro. That was first degree premeditated murder, bro. You know what I'm saying? I should get life for that video. I'm just saying, bro. I should get life, man. See, the WBC said, look, we fucked up. We should have never mandated Dominic Brazil. We shouldn't have. Here you go. Dillian White was like, fuck you. I'm not fighting no... Tyson Fury turned this down. But he did say, I'm not fighting no fucking Tyson Fury. I'm not fighting no fucking Luis Ortiz. I'm not fighting none of these motherfuckers because I've been the #1 contender for 2 goddamn years. Holding on to the silver title for the same amount of time. He got it off Robert Helenius. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fighting nobody else. Fuck that. Mandate me. Matter of fact, if I beat Oscar Rivas, mandate me. You know what I'm saying? So the WBC, and we reported on this like a month and a half ago. Mauricio Sulaiman said, hey, I have no problem with it. We just need to take it to the committee. We got to vote on it, et cetera, et cetera. But I have no problem with it. Mauricio Sulaiman, the president of WBC, said that he did not mind mandating White if he beat Oscar Rivas months ago. It's on Three Kings Boxing. Right? So this news that came out yesterday is not news. Not to us and not to the fellas that follow Three Kings. It ain't news. We already said this. They just had to get it formally accepted. You know what I'm saying? So, now that it's formally accepted, Dillian White, bro, I worry about his mental stability now. Mm-hmm. This is a bad time to bring out and say, yo, if you win this fight, you get Deontay Wilder. Why do I say that? Because Dillian White can be like, yes, I've been fucking, thank you. I finally get the fight. And fuck around and have his arm hanging out the ring again, Bo. You feel me? Weed Degree put $199 on it. This nigga gave us some euros in this bitch.
Bitch, that's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you, big dog. But I'm saying they could be like this again, bro. Because he's thinking about Deontay Wilder and underestimating Oscar Rivas. Oscar Rivas is a beast, dog. This motherfucker's no joke. This is a guy that's been fighting motherfuckers that are way bigger than him since the amateurs. He's no joke. You know what I'm saying? He beat Kubrat Pull-Ups. I'm about to do what my man did in Coming to America. He beat Kubrat Pull-Ups' ass. You know what I'm saying? So Oscar Rivas told Bo in Spanish, check the interview out. It's on this channel. Bo interviewed Oscar Rivas in Spanish. Yes, Bo, he knows fluent Spanish. I know I was surprised too when I first heard it. He's fluent in Spanish. And he interviewed Oscar Rivas. We put subtitles on that bitch. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? It was what? The Sergey Kovalev Lito Alvarez fight he was at.
Sure was.
Go check it out. Go read the subtitles, niggas, because I know y'all don't know fucking Spanish. You know what I'm saying? But Oscar Rivas said it in that interview. He said he wants Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Right? So this is the fight he wants, bro. And he knows Dillian White is in his way. So Oscar Rivas is like, oh, wait a minute. I thought I was just fighting to get, a little bit further ahead in the rankings. Right now I'm number 10 by the WBC. I thought, I win, beat Dillian White. I might get, 4 or 5 or something. Y'all niggas is telling me I could be mandatory now? Oh, shit, I'm about to fuck this motherfucker up. See, now Oscar Rivas is ready. So you got Dillian White's mental mindset possibly might be compromised, I should say, right? Then you got Oscar Rivas, who just found more motivation to beat Dillian White. On paper, this is not a 50-50 fight. But if you compare and contrast styles, this is 100% a 50-50 fight, man. What do you think about this shit, Bo?
Listen, I think the thing is, and because you touched upon the mental aspect, I'm gonna say this shit, right? It's never happened to me, but this is what I heard. You know how you waiting to get this chick, and you've been waiting to hit it. You've been waiting and shit, and then she finally give you something. Like, yes, I've been waiting, right? And then what happened? Bust that nut in 10 fucking pumps, right?
10? Shit, 6.
You be like, don't move.
Man, hey, bro. Hey, we're going to get graphic on this bitch. It says TVMA in the description. Bo, you ever done that shit? You pull out, try to squeeze your dick real hard so the nut don't come out?
Yeah.
That's what happened, bro. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
That's what's happening with Dillian White, bro.
and because you're up there, you waiting so long, so your mental state changes. Revis, on the other hand, right? His mental state is like, oh shit. So I'm about to be in a position that I've been waiting to be in, which is fighting for a title, versus a motherfucker that's been waiting. Oh no, hell no. Right. I'm finna go in here and I'm finna get that ass. Now here's the thing though, and my man, shout out to my man right here, BFTB Boxing. He said it. Reeves is thinking about White while White is thinking about Wilder. You're absolutely 100% motherfucking correct. Very because Reeves' thing is, hey man, it don't matter what's on the line. I was preparing to whoop Dillian White's ass. Regardless of what's on the line, I was just preparing to whoop his ass. Right. Dillian White is thinking, if I lose my chance at a championship title. It may change his whole approach to this fight. Or he may go out looking to really knock motherfucking Reeves out and fuck around and get himself knocked out.
Right.
So this fight is super intriguing to me. Now, I will say this. Dillian White is the bigger man. Dillian White is what my man Prodigy would call the most improved boxer, right? You know, the nigga still got Fred Flintstone feet.
Yeah, oh my God, bro. That nigga fights like he's slipping on rocks. You know I'm telling you, bro.
He does. He still got Fred Flintstone feet. He still sometimes telegraphs his punches, and he still sometimes throws too many wild looping punches. That's dangerous against a guy like Oscar Reeves, who likes to get on the inside, who can fight on the inside, who has a decent mid-range ability, but whose stamina and footwork, I think, is going to be better, and ring IQ is going to be better than Dillian's in this fight. Right. Dillian White always has a stamina issue around the 7th and 8th round, and then we saw what happens in the 12th round. He cannot have any type of issue at all against a cat like Oscar Reeves. We saw what Reeves can do with Brian Jennings in the 12th round. He still had the stamina and the strength and ability to finish this dude. So, and then, like my man Prodigy said, Oscar Reeves is used to fighting the taller fight. He used to fighting the bigger dudes. Like he said, not only did he beat Kubrat Pulev, this dude ran the gauntlet as an amateur and was on his way before he had a couple of injuries, right? So This is a very interesting fight, man. It's a tough one for me. It's a really tough one for me to call because you just don't know. Dillian White, everything is there for Dillian White. All he has to do is punch in his ticket. That's all he got to do is punch in his ticket, man. But the motherfucker you got to punch that ticket in too is a motherfucker that's sitting there like,
Bro, why couldn't he have fought like Brian Jennings or somebody? I'm just saying, Oscar Reeves, nigga, of all people, bro.
I know this is a tough fight. It's a tough one for me to call, but here at Three Kings we don't pussyfoot around.
Hell no.
I'm gonna go with who I want to win because I want to see. I believe in people getting what they deserve. So I'm gonna go with Dillian White to win because he's been screwed over for so long that I actually want to see him finally get that opportunity to fight for a title. So I'm gonna go against what my mind is telling me. I'm gonna pick Dillian White.
Okay, I have no problem with that. My thing is this though, man. That Fred Flintstone footwork, that you know what I'm saying, Elmer Fudd slipping on a banana peel footwork, Sylvester, Tweety and Sylvester, you know what I'm saying, niggas slipping on a banana peel footwork, dog. That's my only fucking problem with Dillian White. That's one of my problems. That's not the only. I'm speaking too fucking fast. That's not the only one. Mm-hmm. That is the major problem. Another problem is his fucking stamina, bro. He gets tired, bro. He gets tired. My third problem with him, he moves away from the game plan too much, bro.
Yeah, he does.
Joseph Parker, man. He was whooping Joseph Parker's ass. He was beating Joseph Parker better than what Joshua did against Joseph Parker. Oh, and then that last round came. To the point where if this was a early 1980s 15-round fight, Dillian White would have got knocked out.
He got knocked out. Yeah,
Joseph Parker would have been the new talk of the town, bro. He would have redeemed himself from losing to Anthony Joshua. He would have knocked Dillian White out if it was 15 rounds. You see? against Anthony Joshua. He had him hurt. Second round. But that nigga started blundering with the footwork. Nigga doing this shit, trying to knock him out and shit. Couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then he just strayed away from the game plan that helped him. You see what he was doing before? He was staying inside the range of the fucking jab. He was staying inside of Anthony Joshua's jab. That's how he hit him with that hook on the inside and hurt him. But then after that, he said, I'll just stay on the outside. That's how I beat him in the amateurs. Nigga got pieced up and knocked the fuck out, arm out the ring. All right? So, that is my problem with Dillian Whyte. In this fight, he's fighting a guy that he's much taller. I think he's bigger, but given the height and weight ratio, Oscar Rivas is bigger than him. Okay? But Dillian Whyte, if you just look at it, height, body mass, he's bigger than Oscar Rivas. Dillian Whyte is going to have to keep, again, this is another fight. He's going to have to keep him on the end of his jab, bro. Now, Dillian Whyte jabs. Okay? He ain't Keith Thurman in this motherfucker. He jabs.
That's true. That's true. He does.
But he's going to have to make sure he keeps him on the end of the jab, man. And he's going to have to pivot against Oscar Rivas. Oscar Rivas is a stalker. All right? But he's a smart stalker. I'm not saying this motherfucker got the IQ of a Floyd Mayweather, or Andre Ward, or anybody of that nature. Terrence Crawford. I'm just saying. He's a smart stalker. He knows how to get around the long reach of bigger fighters because he's been doing it his whole career. All the way back to the amateurs. Okay? So he already knows that. That's already ingrained in his skill set. You see what I'm saying? And Corey just asked a great question. Can Whyte control Rivas? That is the fucking key.
You got to do it for 12 rounds, and I don't know if he can do it for 12 rounds.
And that is why I got Oscar Rivas. He can't control him, B. He can't control him. Dillian Whyte tires out. His chin is kind of suspect, man. I don't care about him getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua. That doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. He was hurt multiple times against Derek Chisora.
That's true.
He was hurt against Joseph Parker. I think Oscar Rivas hits harder than both of those guys. Because his hands are so fucking big. Right? Man. Look what he did to Bryant Jennings in that 12th round. I understand Bryant Jennings is no fucking world beater. But at the end of the day, Bryant Jennings was a guy that only been knocked out by Luis Ortiz at that time. Luis Ortiz is one of the hardest punchers in the division. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that he was able to get to Bryant Jennings in that 12th round and lay this motherfucker flat tells me that not only is he well conditioned, not only does he execute the game plan very well, but his power is always there, bro. The entire fight, right? And he can hit you with something that you ain't felt. Even though you fought this nigga 11 straight rounds, he can land something that you didn't feel in those previous 11 rounds. That is a dangerous motherfucker right there, bro. You see what I'm saying? Dillian Whyte also. Watch the Derek Chisora fights, both of them. Hell, watch the fucking last couple of rounds of Joseph Parker. He gets caught in the pocket. Sitting there trying to slug and shit. You see what I'm saying? You can't slug with Oscar Rivas, bro. I got Rivas, man. You can't. I got it. It's too much. When you look at something and you're breaking a fight down, you're comparing and contrasting styles. You're coming up with a well-educated analysis on who wins and loses the fight. When you have so many different weak points that you can pinpoint on a particular fighter against another fighter who has his own weak points, but when you look at if that other fighter can exploit them better than that fighter can exploit the weak points of the other, and you come up to the conclusion like, well, fighter B can exploit the weak points on fighter A much better than vice versa. Mm-hmm. You got to go with fighter B, and that's what I'm doing. My man Weed Degree said, Prod, UD, TKO, or KO. He won't get a decision.
I was just going to ask you that. If it goes 12, okay, so you're right.
I'm going Oscar Rivas by knockout. He won't get the decision.
Right.
If he gets a decision, he'll have to drop Dillian White a couple of times to where the scorecards are like, all right, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? That's what he had to do. And I can see him doing that. But Oscar Rivas is a guy that can fucking finish you. I think he gets the KO, man. So it's a long shot. But before we move on, I want to say this. The winner of this fight, I don't care who wins this fight because either opponent, in my opinion, and I know my man BFT Boxer said he wants Dillian White to win so Deontay Wilder can kill him. I think both of these opponents are good opponents for Deontay Wilder, man. Both of these guys. Dillian White, while, you know, I said all the flaws that he has, there's this thing called motivation. You know what I'm saying? And I talked about this before. When I hoop, when I used to, you know, play ball overseas and shit, when I tried out to play overseas and shit, right? When I saw, no disrespect to anybody in the chat, but this is what it is. I'm going to be truthful to y'all, man. When I saw a motherfucker that wasn't black guard me, more specifically a white boy guard me, that was his ass. I wasn't getting killed by no white boy, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm already a good-ass player. But if I see a white boy or a Mexican or a Puerto Rican or anybody who's not black guarding me, bro, my game just got elevated by like 20, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Multiplied by 20. Because I look at you and I see you and I don't think you can fuck with me. You see what I'm saying? Dillian White thinks this about Wilder. You see what I'm saying? And that little bit of motivation can make him a dog in that fight. You see what I'm saying? That's why he's been chasing and talking shit about Wilder for so long. Right? Oscar Rivas is always a dangerous fighter because of what he knows. You see what I'm saying? So, also, this fight is such a good matchup that the winner is definitely going to rise his stock because he beat the other guy. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you're going to see some shit that you're going to be like, damn, this motherfucker actually did well in this category, to get the win. The winner's stock is going to rise no matter what in this fight. And it's going to give you more data to basically scrutinize when you make a breakdown against Deontay Wilder, bro. That's why I think the winner is a definitely good opponent for Deontay Wilder, man. You got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I want a small story to everybody. The way what 2K is saying, he's not alone. Larry Bird himself said that anytime I saw a white guy sticking me, I was pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, Larry Bird even said it. You're right. He did say it.
Yep. If a white guy was there, I'd be like, yo, man, did you make your coach mad or the hell is you doing out here?
Hell yeah.
Larry Bird said, if I looked up and saw a white guy guard me, I knew I was dropping damn near 50 on this team. So, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Right move, same in boxing. I was an amateur boxer, man. If a motherfucker that wasn't black getting in the ring with me, bro, I'm about to beat that body up. You know what I'm saying? You gonna piss some blood after this sparring session or this motherfucking tournament we in. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like I said, it's a motivational thing, man. So I think it'll be a good matchup no matter who the fucking wins this fight, man. All right, man, what you got next for me, dog?
Errol Spence, Shawn Porter is gonna be pay-per-view. Now, we all know that fight is slotted for the Staples Center, September 28th. Why the fuck it's in California? I have no goddamn idea.
I don't know, bro.
Okay, I don't understand. Like, time out. Pause. Off topic. Who is the fucking think tank over at PBC? Who's the fucking thing? I just want. Who's the fucking think tank over at PBC? I would assume
fucking Al Heyman, because he the motherfucker doing all the thinking.
There's no way Al Heyman signed off on this, man.
He had to. Yeah, I don't see much shit going past Al Heyman in terms of decision making. You know what I'm saying? Damn. He had to have. It is a bad. I agree. Why not have it? Listen, again, fellas, go to 3kingsboxing.com. We got an interview with Shawn Porter. My man Rick Muhammad did the interview. All right. I forgot what fight it was, but it was after Garcia Spence. Shawn Porter said, I'll go to Texas and fight Errol Spence. At that point in time, that should have been set. Now, my only thing is, and we talked about this shit before, Bo. If Sean Porter went into the back of the negotiation room and they was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You already said you would go to Texas. And Sean Porter was like, I don't give a fuck what I said, nigga. That's the only thing, bro. Like my man Clifton Powell on Menace to Society. I thought you said I would come back at 3 o'clock. I don't give a fuck what I said, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I could think of where they changed the venue. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I think the biggest question is now, probably soon be up. I wrote the article about it on Three Kings Boxing. Soon going to be up. Richard Schaefer is going to introduce the idea of maybe having that fight bumped up for the September 14th date, which is the Canelo date. So if they have it bumped up to that, that would be a huge revenue boost. You know, that article will be up soon. Yep. But do we think this fight will do the same or better numbers than Crawford versus Khan? Now, here's my thing. I think it will, because the reason being is people still remember the performance that Errol Spence gave against Mikey Garcia. He surprised the shit out of all of us with the way he fought. Yeah. Like, anybody that wants to shit on that fight or say, well, he didn't knock him out or whatever, okay, again, this is why I love boxing, right? Because if you live life, boxing is just like life to me. It's you against whatever's whatever's in front of you. And that's what boxing is you against whatever's on the other side. You got your trainers, and in real life, you got your people, you got your few people that can support you. Okay? All right? So if you live life just like if you follow boxing, you know, man, hey man, sometimes a motherfucker could be smaller than you, but he could be tough enough or mentally tough enough to where you just ain't gonna run over his ass. Right. You might win, but you ain't gonna fucking run over. Like his mango, Jake LaMotta said this when he fought Sugar Ray Robinson. When he knocked Sugar Ray Robinson down, they fought. I think they fought a second time.
Right.
And LaMotta said, after getting the shit beat out of him that fight, they asked him how he feel. He said he couldn't knock me the fuck down.
In that fight, he fought the Raging Bull 4 times, man.
Right.
Well, they fought. Jake LaMotta beat him the first fight, and then Sugar Ray Robinson fucked him up 3 fights after that.
Yeah, right. But I remember in that second fight, LaMotta was adamant about letting everybody know this motherfucker couldn't knock me down.
Right.
He said, you didn't knock me down. You didn't fucking knock me down. And that's just some people's mindset. And sometimes it ain't about always winning. It's about showing you, man, you ain't finna just whoop my ass and run the fuck over me. And that's what Errol Spence saw in Mikey. But what we saw in Errol was his ability to be a technically sound fighter. Showtime Sean Porter, I don't want to see that guy that fought Ugas. Lock that motherfucker up, throw away the goddamn key. That's not what got you there.
Yeah.
What got you there is getting up in the chest and bullying motherfuckers, right? He's gonna have to do that to Earl. He's gonna have to be physical with Earl. He's gonna have to, he's gonna have to come at Earl. He's gonna have to show Earl, I'm not afraid. He's gonna have to give Earl something to think about. That can make for an exciting fight, in my honest opinion, because you have a very aggressive guy, and you have a dude who is perceived as being probably, the man to beat in the welterweight division. So this can make for a very, very good fight. I think it'll do better than Khan versus Crawford because nobody believed Khan stood a chance.
Yeah, right.
You can even make a case for Khan standing a chance. One thing you know about Sean Porter, you can hit this motherfucker with the kitchen sink. He ain't going nowhere. He'll be right there. You can hit Sean.
Unless it's a check left hook.
Yeah.
Unless it's a check left hook, that motherfucker might drop.
Bro. Yeah, I like right about that. But Sean is just one of them dudes, and Sean fights, and then although Sean fights is aggressive, some say he fights dirty, he's just a rough dude. It gives the lure. What happens if he start roughing up Spence? Then of course, you when you look at Errol Spence, hey man, what happens to Sean when Earl start going to that body? So I think there's enough intrigue where the numbers probably will do better than Khan versus Crawford. But I'm not gonna sit and say they're gonna do as good as his first pay-per-view fight, or it's gonna blow them or blow those numbers away.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He should murk. They should murk Khan Crawford simply because nobody was calling for fucking Khan Crawford, and when they made the fight, nobody felt Amir Khan was going to be a competitor against, or let me say this, nobody felt he's going to be competitive against Terrence Crawford. Right. Amir Khan had just finished looking like shit against Samuel Vargas.
Sure did.
Yeah, I mean, he almost got knocked out against Samuel Vargas. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this should blow this out the water because, number one, it's a unification fight. Even though Shawn Porter looked like shit against Yordenis Ugas, he's still a WBC champion. He's still a more trusted fighter than Amir Khan. And when I say trusted, I mean people trust that Shawn Porter's coming to fight. Whereas Amir Khan, people are like, oh, he might get knocked out in the first round. That was everybody's prediction. Oh, he gonna get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That glass chin ain't gonna hold up. He gonna get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody's prediction, bro. Nigga, my 10-year-old daughter was like, who is that? I said, that's Amir Khan, baby. She said, oh, he gonna get knocked out.
Oh, you serious? Get the fuck out of here. She really said that?
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Don't watch no type of boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, she do. She watch it with me, and you know, I put the hands on her and shit so she can learn. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you look at, like I said, when you look at Shawn Porter, he's more trusted, and as Bo said, he is a dangerous fighter because he can maul Errol Spence, and I'm curious to see how this works because Errol Spence needs mid-range distance. You see what I'm saying? He gets a lot of leverage on his shots at mid-range distance. He likes a controlled environment that he's controlling. If he's dictating the pace, he's in his element. When he's not dictating the pace, he gets caught a lot, a la Kell Brook. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I think a lot of motherfuckers based off of popularity is riding with Errol Spence to defeat Terrence Crawford. And they're riding with him like it's easy work. Hey, this is why I'm very hesitant. Because Terrence Crawford is a master at dictating the pace. Errol Spence is a fighter that needs to dictate the pace in order to dominate the way he's dominated in the past. You see? So that's why this fight is intriguing because he may not dictate the pace. Against Mikey Garcia, I wanted to see if he could box well enough to outbox the boxer. I saw that. Yep. Against Shawn Porter, now I want to see how can he transition as a fighter when he's not dictating the pace, when he's getting mauled, when he's getting smothered. Now, if Shawn Porter goes in there and fights him like Yordenis Ugas, easy work. Might even be a knockout. Might even be a knockout, Bo.
I agree with you. Easy, it's easy. If he fight like it's an easy work.
Yeah, get that shit out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if he goes in there, puts on his motherfucking football helmet, puts his pads on, you know what I'm saying? And he's talking about doing some fucking unnecessary roughness, that's a hard fight, bro. If he's out there trying to sack a nigga, that's a hard fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got to go out there and he got to try to make this nigga lose some yardage. That's how you got to fight him, dog. I want to see this motherfucker giving the ball back to Errol Spence in his 1st and 35, nigga.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's how he's got to fight him, dog. And if he fights him like that, then there's a lot that we're going to learn in terms of Errol Spence and being able to adjust when he's not dictating the pace, bro. I can't wait for this fight. This is a fucking excellent matchup. And I think it does way better numbers than Crawford Khan, simply because this matchup is intriguing, bro. Somebody said 300K. I think it was Corey. Corey said 300K is his guess. I don't mind that. 300K.
I don't mind it. I just think that's a reach.
I like it. You know why? Because I think more people will watch the fight than go to it. I mean, of course, but I'm saying like he's not. Let me say it this way: he's not gonna sell out Staples Center like he sold out AT&T Stadium, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They should have had the fucking fight here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
They should have, man.
Because you definitely would have sold out. Ticket sales would have been amazing, and you would have got the pay-per-view. But it is what it is. But more people he's not gonna sell out Staples Center. I think more people will stay at home and watch this fight. I think it does about 300K. I think so.
And Keith Thurman, take notes. Take notes, Keith Thurman. Both Porter and Spence are hyping each other with when they talking about each other. They're not talking down to each other to fuck up the pay-per-view by sale.
Right. Errol Spence ain't out here in these streets talking about Sean Porter whack. All he do is play football. He ain't saying none of that.
No.
Yeah, Errol Spence gonna say this is a great champion. I don't even know how Keith Thurman beat him. He probably might say that. Shit. He might say that. My man BFT Boxer said this channel is special. I'm loving it on some McDonald's shit. Feel you, dog. Appreciate you, big man. All right, man. Let's move to the next one, man.
Yeah, we about to run out over time.
Yeah, I know, man. We gonna go to the next one though. Let me look. What do I want, man? I gotta talk about them, bro. I gotta talk about the rest of the topics. We only got 3. We gotta hit them.
Bet. Let's do it.
Gotta hit them, man. Adrian Broner. Is he a C-level fighter, bro?
Hell fucking yeah. When was he not? When was he not? Adrian Broner was a C-level fighter that was getting A-level push. Man,
we about to argue. He's not a C-level fighter.
Yes, right now you telling me Adrian Broner not a C-level fighter right now?
No, he's not.
Okay, what keeps him from being a C-level fighter?
Because he's beaten all the C-level opponents he's ever faced, and he's dominated them. The only one
he got to draw.
Hold on. Jesse Vargas is not a C-level fighter. The only fighter he didn't dominate that was a C-level fighter is Adrian Granados. That's it. Okay. But he beat all the other C-level fighters. He beat them and dominated them. Jesse Vargas is a B-level fighter. Former champion. He's a B-level fighter. Mikey Garcia is a B+ to A level, depending on how you see him. But Marcos Maidana, B-level fighter. Paulie Malignaggi, B-level fighter. B- on the cusp. Paulie Malignaggi was on the fucking cusp. C+, B-. That motherfucker was on the cusp. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, he like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? But and the reason why I mentioned Paulie is because I thought he lost that fight. You know
I did too.
Manny Pacquiao, A-level fighter. But when we look at the C-level fighters he's fought, Emmanuel Taylor, Khabib Alikverdiev, Gavin Reese, Antonio DeMarco, Ponce de Leon.
Okay.
He's dominated all those guys.
But just
he didn't dominate Ponce de Leon, but he beat him. A lot of people think he lost that fight. I watched that fight numerous times. I don't know what the fuck niggas is talking about. He won that fight convincingly. But what were you gonna say?
I said, but see, just because you beat the C-level fighters, all that means to me is you're just a good enough C-level fighter to beat the other motherfuckers, C-level fighters.
Well, this is my deal. You can't put a motherfucker in the same category as the people he dominated. How do you do that? Nigga,
because you're not. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you dominate a bunch of C-level fighters, you can't be a C-level fighter. You got to be a level above. Domination means they're not on your level. That's what that means.
Okay, then. He's a C+. I'm reaching out. Hold on, Pride.
My man Chris M said, I have all those guys D-. God damn, nigga. Antonio DeMarco was a D- level fighter when he fought Broner, nigga. Damn. Y'all ain't giving this nigga no love, bro. Ain't no D-.
Listen, DeMarco was his coming out party fight, and DeMarco was a former champion. So come on,
how the fuck is DeMarco a D-, bro? That's bad, man. No. A D- is like a D-. Man, let me think, man. A fucking D- is
D-
like
is failing. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's like what's his name? Who's that motherfucker that beat Anthony Crolla and the guy Chris Arjuri just beat? Damn, nigga, I gotta look it up. I hate looking shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this shit, bro.
Wait a minute. Anthony Crolla beat him?
No, he beat Anthony Crolla. He's like a legend in the UK. Weed Degree knows what I'm talking about. He ain't never won no title. He whack as fuck, but he would always come back and beat dudes he wasn't supposed to beat.
Not Sam Eglinton.
Derry Matthews.
That's
a fucking D-level fighter, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me think of an American opponent. D-level. Samuel Vargas. The guy that just almost knocked out Amir Khan. That's a D-level fighter, man. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Yeah, he is.
Let me ask y'all this. If Adrian Broner fought Amir Khan, who wins that fight?
You have to go with Broner because of Khan's chin.
Exactly.
If Broner finally let his hand go, you'd have to go with Broner because of Khan's chin.
Exactly. Damn, look, Chris M. Nigga said Derry is a straight F and E on his best day. Hey, Derry. Chris. I'm going to show you an F-level fighter, man. An F-level fighter is that Australian dude that almost knocked out Kimbo Slice. That's an F-level fighter, man. I'm going to get his name right now, man. That's an F-level fighter, man. All right? A motherfucker with like a losing record, that's an F-level fighter, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's his name, bro? His name is fucking, oh, man, they ain't got it up here. He's an Australian dude. The dude's record was like 11-12. Matter of fact, I give him a better one, dog. I give him a better one because I ain't going to remember no F-level fighter's name. I give him a better one, bro.
I'm about to say me either.
Because F is the lowest you can go. An F-level fighter is that motherfucker that Kell Brook fought 3 times.
Carson Jones?
No, Ernie Smith. Ernie Smith.
Yes, Ernie Smith.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. When Kell Brook first fought Ernie Smith was 11-80. When he fought him the second time, Ernie Smith was 12-85. When he fought him a third time, Ernie Smith was 13-97. That's an F-level fighter, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That one. You're right about that right there.
That's a fucking F. A D is Derry Matthews, a motherfucker that's not supposed to be winning fights, but he fucks around and beats some of the prospects. That's a D level. Like the guy that knocked out Marcellus Wilder, that's a D level fighter, man. You see what I'm saying? The C's are like, Tommy Carpenter. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Crolla. You know, even though Anthony Crolla is a former WBA regular champion, he's still a C-level fighter. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, Tommy Coyle. I couldn't remember his name. Dude that Chris Algieri just beat. Tommy Coyle. Those are C-level fighters, man. Amir Khan at this point in his career is a C+ to B- level fighter, and you guys are all saying Broner beats him. So how can...
I'm only saying he beats him because of his chin.
But he's still a C+ B- level fighter.
But I think Khan will be winning the fight, just Broner's going to catch him.
Nah, I don't think Khan will be winning the fight. I think Broner would be winning that fight. Listen, let's say this, at round 10, I would have Broner up maybe 6 rounds to 4 at round 10. I believe that. Yes.
He don't throw his hands enough for me to go with that.
Neither does fucking Khan anymore. Look at Khan did to Crawford. He barely threw punches.
Well, that was Terrence Crawford.
Still, he still doesn't. Look what he did against Samuel Vargas.
That's true. I give you that one. I give you that one.
Exactly. BFT Box. He said Brian Coleman was 24-139. That's an F. My man Mark Lucas said Emmanuel Augustus. Where do you rank him? Emmanuel Augustus is a solid C+. The reason why is because he gave all these motherfuckers trouble. Even though he has a losing record, he was robbed a bunch of times. He beat a lot of guys that were prospects, right? And the judges said, all right, just give it to the prospect. We don't want this drunken master motherfucker to win this fight. You see? He's a solid C+. Hell, depending on how you look at things, Emmanuel Augustus might be a B-. You see what I'm saying? Augustus is like your, what's my guy's name for Andre Ward? Can't think of his fucking name right now.
Darnell Boone.
Darnell Boone. Took a lot of fights on short notice. Went out there and basically gave some of the best fighters out there trouble. Hell, Darnell Boone knocked down Sergey Kovalev 3 times in their first fight. In an 8-round bout, by the way.
Yeah, gave his first loss, Stevenson. Knocked him the fuck out.
Adonis Stevenson knocked him out. Now, the point I'm saying about Sergey Kovalev is, I'm trying to give you guys the idea of getting robbed. How do you knock a motherfucker down 3 times in an 8-round fight and still lose a unanimous decision? You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So, Emmanuel Augustus, Darnell Boone, I'm trying to think of another one that gives a lot of niggas trouble, man.
Ross Purity.
Kasim Uma. Yeah, Ross Purity. Good shit.
Ross Purity.
Kasim Uma. Who was the other African cat? He was at a lower weight than Kasim Uma. Man. Damn. Taylor's good friends with him, too. I can't think of his fucking name right now, bro.
Taylor Christie's?
Yeah. She's good friends with the dude.
Australian fighter? You talking about...
He's an African/Australian fighter. Yeah, he moved to Australia. I can't think of his fucking name to say.
I can't think of his fucking name either. God damn it.
But that nigga gave a lot of niggas trouble. You know what I'm saying? Ali Funeka.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that was giving niggas trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But AB can't be a fucking C-level fighter when you dominating C-level fighters and you just told me he beats Amir Khan, who's a C plus B minus.
Only beats Khan because of his chin. So I'll go as far as C plus. I can't go any higher than that with Adrian Broner, man. And hold on, wait a minute. Let me ask you this: what division are we talking about?
What are you talking about? For
Adrian Broner, what division are we talking about? Are we talking about him competing at 140, 147?
147 against Amir Khan. Are you talking about the Amir Khan fight? Or are you talking about what level Adrian Broner's at? Period.
Yeah, what level he's at? Period.
Well, I mean, he's still a B. I mean, that doesn't matter what divisions he's in. That's too much detail. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I just want to say in general.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Because at 147, he's a fucking gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? So that may sway people's opinion. But at 140, he's not necessarily a gatekeeper.
That's why I would sway my opinion. If we're talking 140, I'll give him a B minus.
Well, that's why you look at it as a whole. As a whole, what has he done in his career? He's beaten all the C-level fighters. Dominated them. Except maybe one or two.
Man, he's C plus, man. This dude.
That nigga B, man. He a B.
C plus, yeah, he'll be all right. He need to be out of boxing. What the fuck he need to be?
Yeah, I agree with that shit, bro. I agree with that shit. Hey,
let me say this. Anybody that want to say he's a B minus, I don't have a problem with that because he does beat him. But see, for me, and probably I'm old school. Just because you beating the same guys on the same level, you don't mean that you're the next level up. You got to be the next level up guy for me to say that about you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, my man Tyler, man, he corrected us. He said Sugar Ray Robinson fought Jake LaMotta 6 times and lost to him twice. Absolutely correct. See, we do this shit off the gift. We don't really look up anything unless I got to look up F level fighters. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. If you correct
That's the fight I'm talking about, Perkins. Yeah. The Valentine's Day Massacre, where he was like, "You didn't knock me down."
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we definitely appreciate that correction. You know what I'm saying? But real talk though, the Jake LaMotta fight, I just want to say this before we move on. The Jake LaMotta fight, in my opinion, wasn't the most disappointing fights for me with Sugar Ray Robinson. It was his loss to Randy Turpin when he went over to the UK, lost to fucking Randy Turpin. Now I give it back to him because he knocked him out in the first round in the rematch. But that was over here in the States. You know what I'm saying? But that was a disappointing loss. And then you got all the losses where Sugar Ray was throwing fights and shit. You know, the mob had a hold of this shit. Basically telling the nigga they'll murk him if he don't throw them fights and stuff like that. That's really how Sugar Ray had them 19 losses, man. I think he had 19 losses. But in reality, he only lost, probably in my opinion, 3 fights. 3 fights legitimately. Let me put it that way. You know what I'm saying? And Jake LaMotta is a guy himself who actually admitted to throwing fights. You know
yes, he did.
So I remember they had like a hearing. I can't remember what fight it was, but there was like a hearing. This nigga had to appear before court because of throwing a particular fight. I can't remember which one it was, though. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was prevalent back then, man. All right, man. Shit, we getting off time, man. Let's move to the next one, dog. What we got, Bo?
All right, man. You got Olegan Usyk signs his contract. He's like, listen, Johnny, 5.7 or 10.6 or Terminator motherfucking 13 or whatever the fuck your ass is.
That nigga's a T2000, bro. He the new model.
Yeah, right, you know. And we're not talking about the liquid. We're not talking about...
That motherfucker is 100%
straight.
That motherfucker Artur Beterbiev. Yeah. Yo, he is the original Sock'em Bock'em. That motherfucker is 100% scrap metal, dog. I'm telling you. I said on the other podcast, don't be surprised if you see Gvozdyk landing punches on this nigga. You see a whole bunch of metal flying off this nigga. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a cyborg, man. Van Damme, nigga. You young niggas won't know what I'm talking about. That 1980s movie, Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's motherfucking Artur Beterbiev.
Shit, I go back further than that. RoboCop.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. He should come into that music. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. My friends call me Archer. You call me RoboCop. I'm telling you, bro. Real talk. But that's a good fight. I think that's a good fight. Even though Artur Beterbiev is a robot, you know, there was Johnny 5. Artur Beterbiev is Johnny 5000. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's a robot, you still got to respect he's the only champion in boxing that has a perfect record. 14 wins, 14 knockouts. What do you think about this fight, man? What do you think about this whole idea of them fighting?
I like the fight, man. I think it's finally good to see the WBC title and the unification at light heavyweight. I'm definitely glad to see that. But I like it, man. I think it's about time that we start getting some closure at 175 pounds, and hopefully whoever wins this can go on and fight the next champion, and then the next champion, and we have an undisputed. But here's the thing about this fight. Even as robotic as we're messing with when it comes to Artur Beterbiev, you still got to respect that man's power. You still got to respect that man's ability to withstand the punch, just like he did against Callum Johnson, just like he did against Callum Johnson, and then bounce back, right? So you got to respect that about him. And you also got to take in consideration Gvozdyk is a slow starter, okay? You don't necessarily want to be a slow starter against a guy like Artur Beterbiev, who has the ability, to kind of get on you and jump on you. Then Gvozdyk has a tendency of sometimes keeping his chin too high in between combinations and then going straight back with his chin too high. You can get caught on the end of some punches. So it's a good fight. I think Gvozdyk win. I think just from an overall skill set, Gvozdyk is the better fighter. I think he has the better ring IQ and he has the better footwork that can get Artur Beterbiev in trouble. Callum Johnson was doing it. Just what happened was when he got him in trouble, he kind of smothered his own punches by trying to go for the fight, forcing the knockout instead of waiting and allowing the knockout to come to him. And what he did was he allowed Beterbiev to recover, and when Beterbiev recovered, it was over.
Yeah,
it was over after that. I don't think Gvozdyk is not that type of dude. Gvozdyk throws very good combinations. Gvozdyk actually does better when he's leading and cutting the ring off versus when he's trying to step back and counter. So I think he should stay more on the offensive side of the attack of building off of punches, throwing combinations, than trying to go back and counter against a guy like Beterbiev. Most flat-footed fighters like Beterbiev, they're very good counter punches. And I do believe Gvozdyk going to have to go to the body because Beterbiev, by him having the slower feet, I mean, this motherfucker, to take something Big Cool said, because, I do steal shit from people, motherfucker is slower than molasses on a turtle with his footwork. That's
Hold on. I got to play a little bit of music. Go ahead, bro. We listening.
That's some slow ass shit, bro.
We listening, Mo. Go ahead, man.
Hey, man, look. Gvozdyk is going to win this motherfucking fight. Artur Beterbiev got roots like trees in the bottom of the feet. Gvozdyk is going to come forward. He's going to throw these combinations. Beterbiev is going to try to follow up with something, but he's just going to be just a little bit of step behind. I got Gvozdyk winning this fight, possibly by knockout, man, maybe round 10.
That's Beterbiev all day. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, I'm about to hit up ESPN. Everybody that fucks with Artur Beterbiev, I'm like, y'all need to bring this motherfucker in with that music, man.
Yup.
Y'all need to bring him in, dog. You know what I'm saying? Put the suit on that nigga. I need to see Artur Beterbiev redo that part where Murphy got shot up, nigga. That nigga was like this, bro. He was like this. That motherfucker was getting his ass filled with lead, bro.
He was,
bro. That was the most gruesome part in an action movie I ever seen in my life, bro.
Especially for back then. They didn't show shit like that back then.
They fucked Murphy up, bro. He was
shot him in the hand.
He was a rookie cop. Yeah, he said. Shot
him in the hand.
He was a rookie cop, dog.
He sure was.
Nah, real talk though, man. I like the fight though, man. I think Alexander Gvozdyk is the second best light heavyweight out there. Dimitri Bivol, I like to put it this way. Gvozdyk is the most skilled light heavyweight. Dimitri Bivol is the smartest light heavyweight.
Yes, totally agree, 100%.
Right. I take smarts over skill, so I say Dimitri Bivol is the best. But Gvozdyk is not far behind. I actually would like to see unification with those two instead of Artur Beterbiev, but this is still a good fight. Bob Arum already said before, I mean, this is like a month ago or so, we published this article where he said that there was talk about the WBSS trying to make a tournament at light heavyweight. He said, nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have a unification that I'm planning at the end of the year. Well, this was the one. You know what I'm saying? So I think Gvozdyk and Artur Beterbiev is an excellent fight. And it's showing that Top Rank and Bob Arum is serious about what the fuck they said they was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. My man Chris M said Kovalev number 3, man. He number 3. Kovalev is no longer the Kovalev of like 2016, 2015. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward fucked that up. And then Alida Alvarez fucked that up.
Yeah, sure did.
No, Kovalev gets beat. I think Kovalev, listen, Artur Beterbiev is the worst champion. All right? I think Kovalev, even though he didn't want to fight Beterbiev because he lost him twice in the amateurs, I think he beats him in the professional ranks. You know what I'm saying? But he can't fuck with Gvozdyk or Bivol. Absolutely not. He might even get stopped by Bivol. I take that back. He might get stopped by Gvozdyk because Bivol's sense of urgency when he has somebody hurt, nigga, he don't go for it. You know what I'm saying? He stays back and still boxes. That's actually the downfall of Dimitri Bivol. He don't have that
passive aggressive.
Yeah, he's passive aggressive. Exactly. He don't have that killer instinct. That's what I was looking for. Gvozdyk does. You saw what he did against Adonis Stevenson. So if he hurts Sergey Kovalev, he's going in for the kill. He might possibly stop Kovalev. So I put him at the number 3, man. But this is a good fight, and I'm glad it's happening, man. I'm definitely gonna be tuned to this shit, dog. All right, man. Last one, dog. Eddie Hearn. They put the pressure on that boy. They said, yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, man. Remember that steam pipe on Commando at the end of that movie, bro? See, y'all, man, I know all these movies, man. Y'all little niggas ain't gonna know what we talking about, man.
Oh, shit.
Whoever's a little nigga watching this shit not gonna know, man. Remember when he Arnold put that pipe through that nigga chest, he said, let off some steam.
Steam, yeah.
Right. Look, bro, this is exactly what was happening in an interview with Eddie Hearn recently by with the IFL dude, Keegan Casey is whatever the fuck his name is. Excellent interview because he put the pressure on him. He was like, hey, bro, motherfuckers want to know, when are you going to make an announcement about Ruiz Joshua 2? And throughout the interview, Eddie Hearn is like, oh, man, Anthony Joshua saying this, and he thinks this, and he thinks that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, yeah, Bill Duke was in that motherfucker, Lawrence. He got his ass whooped in that hotel room. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Anthony Joshua saying, it's up to me, but he's also saying he went to that Madison Square Garden. I don't know. And Cassie's like, man, shut the fuck up, nigga. Tell us when the goddamn fight going. He ain't said it like that. But he said, tell us when the fight gonna happen. He said, all right. Sheesh. You have to be such a fucking prick. We will make an announcement probably this weekend, all right? Gee golly. Shucks. Get me out of here, guys. So he pressured this motherfucker to say he will make an announcement where the venue's going to be at for the rematch, what date this weekend. Bo, are you going to hold your breath on that statement? It's Thursday already.
No. He said before we should be finding out within the next couple of days. It's been a month and a half. We supposed to had a venue locked in shortly after he had immediately announced he's going to invoke his rematch clause. So hell no, I'm not going to hold my breath on this at all, period. And listen, this goes more to the reason why Ruiz is probably bloviating the way he bloviating. Look here, man, we're going to fight here. Because he's like, man, you undecided. Y'all don't know what the fuck is going on. Ain't nobody got no for definite motherfucking answers. So, shit, you know. You got to understand something with Eddie, man. Eddie's a numbers cruncher. He's trying to see how many offers he's going to get. What's the best possible offer he's going to get, and how much money per capita is that offer going to make him? It might seem small, but it might make me money in this area. Or it might seem a lot, but I might lose money in this area, right? Then also, you got DAZN. Because DAZN is pressuring him saying, well, we see you looking at these other venues and avenues, but shit, we signed with you to make an impact in the U.S. We don't need shit over here. We got that on lock, motherfucker. Yeah. We need U.S. revenue. We need that GDP.
Right. Exactly.
Good damn pay. That what the fuck. Exactly. That GDP, right? So, you know, he's just going back and forth to try to figure some things out, and it's just taking longer than what he expects. I truly believe it is coming down. I truly believe his first statement when he said Anthony Joshua is going to decide where he wants to have this fight, and I think that's really what it is. Because if it's up to Eddie, I don't see why Eddie wouldn't want to bring it back here in the U.S. Right. So I think it really is a matter of it's just a matter of getting Anthony Joshua to say where he wants to make this fight. I know you say you want the rematch, but where do you want to make? Where do you want us to give you this fight? Because one minute he says Joshua says he doesn't care, then the next minute he says Joshua's saying, you know, I wouldn't mind MSG. You know, what do you think? So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I tell people all the time, take what these promoters say with a grain of salt. Sometimes, you know, given the situation, you should believe what they say, but the majority of the time, you got to take it with a grain of salt. In this situation, I'm going to believe what he says, bro. And the reason why is because we've already reported that they've already put their goddamn foot down on Madison Square Garden weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We got that information already. So I think the venue's already been set. I think other things are dragging this shit out that he doesn't want to disclose. You see what I'm saying? And the easiest way to put it is, well, we can't pick the venue. You see what I'm saying? I think the money is the problem. I'm going to be real with you. Andy Ruiz was out here really saying he want $50 million to go to the UK. You know what I'm saying? I think Eddie Hearn really wanted that until Anthony Joshua said, no, I want it back at MSG. Hell, Eddie Hearn even says that. He acknowledges that in this interview that Joshua wants it at MSG, but then he kind of contradicts himself. He said, he said he doesn't care, you pick the venue, but then he says, well, he wants it at MSG. Well, what the fuck, which one is it, bro? It's a contradiction.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. But I get what you mean. You know, you don't believe it. But the fact that we already had information that will be at MSG, I'm going to run with that. You know what I'm saying? And it makes logical sense. Why would you not give the fighter what he wants? If he's saying that he wants it there, he wants it there. Put it at MSG then. I don't think Andy Ruiz has a problem with that. He signed a contract. He knew what he was getting into. As I said before on the podcast previous, Eddie Hearn will be the dumbest motherfucking promoter in boxing history if he gives a guy who is supposed to be a fill-in opponent whom you're giving a gift of an opportunity to and doesn't put in the contract a rematch clause. Oh, yeah, by the way, we picked the venue in the rematch if you win. If he didn't put that in the contract, he is the dumbest promoter in boxing history. You know
agree,
what I'm saying?
100%.
So I'm
100% agree.
Right. So I'm going to assume he put that in the contract. And with that being said, Andy Ruiz knows that he got to adhere to that. There's a lot of you got to understand these guys say a lot of things so that the media can write about it so that there's more intrigue on the fight. Hey, we'll oblige. That's our job. I'm going to assign assignments to Bo, you know, Big Cool, you know, my man Cheetah Head, Corey, Mike Wilson. I'm going to assign assignments and say, hey, write about that, or they'll find it themselves. and say, hey, I'm going to write about this. This is what we do. We'll write about it. We'll do what they want us to do. But at the end of the day, we keep our same opinion. You see what I'm saying? And the opinion is, it's all smoke and mirrors. They're doing this shit so motherfuckers can stay intrigued for the rematch. Make as much money as possible.
And then, you know.
Go ahead.
No, I was say a good point is, why wouldn't you announce this fight this weekend, July 20th, on the cusp of Oscar Rivas and fucking you just got that news about the WBC. Now you announced that you have a venue fight. That makes a lot of sense. That's good promotion now that I think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Hopefully, you know, he sticks to his word and shit, does what he does. If he doesn't, hey, it is what it is. But I still think the fight is gonna happen at MSG. Whether he makes a decision this Saturday or not, I won't move off of the fight being at MSG. That's just the logical place, man. So
I think the fight has to be at MSG.
I agree 100%. Yeah,
I don't think anywhere else you put that fight in the U.S., with the exception of maybe Vegas, does that fight do any better.
You know how much money they're gonna make too, putting it at MSG, right at the very same venue where he lost his belts. Oh, it's about to be sick. Let me tell you something. If 50,000, I don't know how much MSG sits, so I'm just saying arbitrary numbers here, people. If 50,000 attended the first fight, 80,000 attended the second.
Because you know why? Everybody's gonna want to say I was there if when Andy Ruiz wins the second time.
Hey, Chris M, I'm 2K, he's Bo.
Yeah, he got it right. He's talking about my point about Chris. We all look the same anyway, right?
Yeah.
We all look the same anyway.
Chris. Hell yeah. Yeah. I think Chris M is a brother. I'm not sure. I think he is, though. I talked to him on Facebook a couple times. I think he's a brother. I'm not sure, but it is what it is, man. So we'll see what happens, though, man. I'm going to go to the chat real quick before we get the fuck up out of here, man. My man Tyler Perkins.
And we don't have no hang-ups. It doesn't matter if you're a brother, if you're a other or another. We don't have
Man, we ain't got to say that shit. Hey, if you a beta male ass motherfucker and you get mad off of that, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Now that we do discriminate against. we discriminate against beta males. Shit. That's something we discriminate. We openly discriminate against them motherfuckers.
Hell yeah. No, this is a no beta male zone, bruh. I can't wait to get them shirts made. We're going to get them shirts made that say no betas. It's happening, man. Let me go to the chat real quick, man. My man Tyler Perkins, he says, Spence will keep Porter off long as he uses that jab. Versus Southpaw, I don't think Sean will get past the jab. Spence got too much, especially to the body. 300K would be great. My bet is 159K pay-per-view buys. What do you think about all that, man?
I think everything, yeah, he's pretty much, man, that's what I love about him. We got some smart people in here, man, good boxing minds. Yeah, I think Spencer's going to try to keep Porter off the end of that jab. The problem is Porter has always been the shorter fighter, and as we've seen over the course of time, he knows how to get in. So I think there's going to be times that Porter's going to come in, and that's where we're going to see what adjustment Errol Spence can make. As far as the pay-per-view buys, man, you make a very valid point. 300K would be great, but 159. I think anything over 200 is reasonable in my opinion. And one more point you made, Spence got too much, especially to the body. The thing about Sean Porter though is, by him being short in stature, it's harder to hit him to the body because he can lean down and Earl has to get extra low. That leaves Earl open for counters if he tries to get extra low to go to the body. So that's going to be a little bit difficult for him fighting a shorter guy.
All right. He said Broner, talking about Broner. Broner gets an A- from before guy's performance with DeMarco. He stayed in the pocket and ripped 70 shots around. What happened to that dude? Well, what happened to him was he moved up to 147 and skipped 140. That's what happened to him. And I was on the same tip. At that point in time, I was out here in these streets. Talking about Adrian Broner ain't losing to nobody. That was until I heard he was going to 147. That's when I said, oh, he going to lose up there. You know what I'm saying?
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Writing was on the wall as soon as it happened, bro. Like it was, I had no thought. I didn't have to marinate on it. None of that, bro. As soon as I got the news, this was 2012, I believe. As soon as I got the fucking news, bro, I was like, oh, that nigga about to lose.
I remember that, dog. I remember that. I remember you made a video about everything. You said the biggest mistake he made is going to 147.
Yeah.
He never should have skipped 140.
He should have never skipped 140, man. Exactly. Let me see what else everybody's saying, man, before we get up out of here. Isa Process said, nah, AB wouldn't let his hand go. He'd lose to Amir Khan. So he's saying he wouldn't let his hands go enough. He would end up losing to Amir Khan. I don't think so, man. I mean, of course he wouldn't let his hands go, but Amir Khan would play right into Adrian Broner being able to counterpunch him. You know why? Because Amir Khan doesn't know how to judge distance well. That's his problem. So I could see Adrian Broner actually walking down Amir Khan. Amir Khan is terrible on his back foot. Atrocious. You know what I'm saying?
He is.
On his back foot. So, nah, man, I don't see Amir Khan out there, you know, dancing and boxing and shit for 12 rounds and beating Adrian Broner. I don't see that, not one bit. What else we got, man? My man BFT Boxing said Peter Buckley was 31, 189, and 10. Now, that's an F-level fighter. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Peter Buckley, like one of the worst fighters in boxing history or some shit like that. I think he had like the most losses in boxing history. Something to that degree. I remember his name being synonymous with something being the worst in boxing history. It had to be the losses. Because I think he had over like 200 losses when it was all said and done. Oh, man. See what else we got. I'm going to read this last one right here. My man, Neutral Natural. Neutral Natural in the building. He always late. He said, how would Lopez take away that tall Asian guy jab and not run into punches? Well, the problem with the Asian guy is he doesn't have very good movement. That's the problem. Teofimo Lopez is a guy that has an unorthodox style, which it will make the Asian guy, as you say, Masayuki Nakatani is his name. It will make Nakatani a little bit difficult to measure Teofimo Lopez the entire fight with that jab. You know, he'll get him on the end of it here and there, but Teofimo Lopez will be too herky-jerky, too unorthodox for him to be able to keep him at bay with that jab for 12 rounds. And eventually he's going to get caught. I don't think he's going to be able to withstand that power. You know what I'm saying? Nakatani hasn't fought anybody of note. I mean, Teofimo Lopez hasn't really either. But Teofimo Lopez is clearly the much more skilled fighter. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Clearly. So, yeah, I think Nakatani's going to fuck around and go to sleep. Might look good early. Fuck around, go to sleep maybe like round 6. That's what I think, man. What do you think about that, Bo?
Oh, man, I agree with that, man. I think, listen, for all the things that Teofimo Lopez talks about, he's a very dynamic fighter and a very explosive fighter, too, as well. Absolutely. We saw that against the Diego Magdalena fight, okay? Yep. The kid is very explosive. And outside of being dynamic and explosive, listen, he has the ability to use his skill set in a way to where it looks basic, but it's better than basic. Like, he has the quick hands, right? But he's able to throw combination and do lead feints. And it's kind of like a Roy Jones type of thing. Roy Jones had better reflex and better hand speed. But the difference is Teofimo Lopez also applies the basics with that as well. And that's something that can carry you a lot further in a fight, even facing a taller opponent. Yeah. So I definitely like him for this fight right here.
No doubt. Last one. Chris M said, yeah, I was talking about Bow Point linking up Revis White to the intrigue of Joshua Ruiz rematch. Well, you know, I told Bo about that earlier today.
Oh, my God. this nigga will never let me have nothing.
Oh, hell.
Y'all see what it's like working with your boss, doing a show with your boss? Y'all see this shit right here?
Oh, man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Bo is a genius in this shit, man. I've tried to tell niggas, our staff, like, we trying to get everybody involved, man. We all know boxing, man. We know this shit from the ground up. We try not to look up shit. As you can see, I had to look up, one thing, and that was some F-level fighters, bro. Everything else was off the gip. And that's what we do, man. We talk boxing all day long. And that's the chat. I mean, that's the staff, excuse me. We talk about boxing in the chat all day long. So
hell yeah, we be having some serious arguments in the
chat. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get more people and shit involved, man, so they can see.
We be going the fuck off in the chat.
Oh yeah. Me and Corey talked about Keith Thurman earlier today, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's what we do, man. That's what we do. All these other motherfuckers that are out there that are all popular, them motherfuckers don't know boxing, man. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Hey, I put this shit on Twitter. A very popular set of people. Very popular, by the way. I mean, they got like 10,000 fucking followers each on Twitter. Everybody likes them. These motherfuckers had the audacity to say that Tyson Fury is a former undisputed champion and didn't even make the correction. That's what I'm talking about. See, at Three Kings Boxing, we don't make those stupid ass fucking mistakes because we know boxing. You know what I'm saying? So, these guys that you guys follow, they don't really know the sport. This is real right here. All of us have been in the ring previously, by the way, except, I think, 2 guys we got?
Yeah.
Only 2 people haven't been in the ring, but those 2 people have been following boxing for decades. So the knowledge base is here. You know what I'm saying? As you can see on this podcast. It directly translates over to the articles you write on 3kingsboxing.com. So with that said, you know what to do. Hit up 3kingsboxing.com for the latest and greatest in boxing news and information, as well as interviews. Stay tuned on here and on Facebook, Twitter, at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing. Facebook is facebook.com/3kingsboxing. We will possibly have that interview with Demetrius Andrade on Sunday. Hopefully he shows up. Hopefully everything is kosher. We got a day. We got a time. All we need is the nigga to show up. If he comes in for that interview, it's over. That's all I'm going to say. It's over. It's going to be extremely entertaining. You think this podcast is entertaining? That interview going to be extremely entertaining. So stay tuned for that shit. All right? This podcast every Monday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. Don't forget about it, all right? We appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody that's donated on the Super Chat, on the Streamlab, and at the PayPal. We appreciate everything, man. Stay tuned. Stick with 3 Kings Boxing. Until then, we out this bitch.